teams have met 4 times this season, with Kenwick beating Maddington in the first 2 encounters, and Maddington, well, in the budget it says they thrashed the Royals 87 points in round 17 and 75 points in the second semi-final. And Woody, your tip for today?
Well, I did witness both of those games, and once you've seen those 2 games, it's very hard to tip Kenwick. But in the back of your mind, you always know that Kenwick will do a hell of a lot better today. But if Maddington have learnt anything from last year, then I expect them to win today. So all is in readiness now. The players are in position. The umpire just about ready to bounce the ball. This is a wonderful moment for these players out on the field. This is what it's all about. It brings the year to the end. In 2 hours' time, one of these teams will be very happy and the other not so happy. As up the ball goes, Want and Kello do battle there. Kello wins a decisive tap, but only as far as Catalano. He's gang tackled, and in fact he's been caught over the shoulder there with the little man Catalano. No one on the mark. He plays on quickly. Hicks straight down the ground, looking for a play there in Wilkes. But good defensive by Osterberg as he fires away to Kello. He's grabbed high, and the big Kenwick ruckman Tony Kello will take the relieving kick right on the centre-half back position. In fact, a 50-metre penalty has been pulled out there as James Cliff went in and manhandled one of the Kenwick players. And umpire Underday said, we're not having any of that, and he'll take the Kenwick player right up into the centre square there, and Peake will go on the mark. So Osterberg, the man, he feeds off with a handball to Sharp. Sharp goes long, straight up the middle of the ground, looking for Hull. He drops the mark. He probably could have taken the beautiful play by the Kenwick player there in, looks like Atkinson. He rode that straight off the hands of Hull, run inside the 50 and delivered a beautiful drop punt straight through the middle. And that's a great start for Kenwick, Chris.
Yeah, it's a great start, and Kenwick are the masters of roughing sides up, and they're doing it at the centre-half back position of their sides. But Maddington just really need to get focused on the task at hand. There's 2 hours of footy. They just need to really focus and don't get caught up with all the rubbish that Kenwick dish out. They just need to focus their sides on the ball and the contest and the task at hand. And if they do that, I'm pretty sure they'll put themselves to a good contest and a good win, hopefully, for them.
Just on last week's performance, Kello did ruck very well against the big man, Rowan Arnott, so he could be handful for Want, but Want this time wins the tap. It's coming in hard as Teddy Thomas. He can't get a kick away. Catalano busting the pack open. Through comes Cliff, but he's strongly tackled by a Kenwick defender. That's a really good tackle there by defender in Velicott, and umpire will rebounce right in the centre square where he started the game. So Kenwick, 1 straight goal, lead Maddington yet to score in the early stage of this grand final. Up go the ruckman. Kello wins a decisive tap down towards Sharp, but he can't get the ball away as the free kick's been picked out. This time it's going to go to Maddington through their captain in Jason Peake. He will look long and strong, no doubt, as that's the way he goes. Nice looking drop punt, looking for Wilkes there, but over the top comes Osterberg, thumps it away. Roving the pack as well there is McPherson. He goes on the left foot looking for Cook, but he doesn't go for the ball, lets it bounce. Cook goes back and tries to thump it forward. He does, but only as far as Brendan Peake. He kicks around the corner but finds McPherson. McPherson goes back for the second effort, gets tripped, plays on quickly, looks for Cook, comes up the middle of the ground, looking for a player there in Sharp, and he's got a fit of the fumbles early stages here. Atkinson comes in. He's had a good start as he kicks it long and high looking for Hull. Down he comes, but good work by Mallard as he thumps it away. Mallard goes back in, fires a handball out looking for Howlett. His handball was poor. That's not good enough as he looks for Fung. Going in there as Lindsay was. He was a good player. Grabbed high. Could be holding the ball. In fact, it is. And that's a good tackle there by Henschel.
Was indeed Ben Henschel getting the tackle there on Woods, Lindsay Woods, and has the ball now on the half-back flank. Looks up forward to a leading forward there and finds him. Good solid chest mark by the leading player in Budaselic. Turns inboard looking centre-half forward. There's Eddie Wilkes flying. Can't take the mark. Plenty of competition for Osterberg. He's taken high and he'll take a free kick at centre-half back. Umpire right on the scene there, Jared Hodge, picking that one out. So it's Osterberg. Josh Osterberg has the ball at centre-half back. Quickly handballs on now, finds his skipper in Cook, Dwayne Cook. Leading player there is Del Paso. He drops what he should have taken. Butters up but can't get the ball. Firing in a handball, there was Callan Martin, find Les Sharp, and he runs away with it down the broadcast wings. Had 2 bounces, now takes his third. Looking for a leading player in Woods, but the kick's a shocker. Woods is behind. Valenti, the raging bull, comes firing out and forces the ball to Budaselic, who has it now. Looking up to the wing and he finds Peake. Peake takes a chest mark. Brendan Peake it is. Kicks inboard to that vacant centre-half forwards area. Wilkes is in front. Takes a strong chest mark right in front of goals, about 50 metres out. Good kick there by Brendan Peake. Looked up and open space. decided to go long and found Eddie Wilkes right at the top of the 50-metre mark. Ulsterberg's about 2 metres inside that 50-metre arc. So Eddie Wilkes having the first definite shot by Maddington on goals. Of course, the Carlton United Brewery scoreboard. Kenwick a 1 goal. Maddington yet to score. Big kick by Wilkes. Doesn't look like it'll have the carry. Plenty of bullocking work there. Was it touched? Freddie Miller says it was. So on that scoreboard, Carlton United scoreboard, it's Kenwick 1 goal, a 6. So Maddington 1 behind.
Maddington have been quite disciplined early. They've really been sending the ball inside their forward 50, so obviously they've been instructed by their coach to put the ball when they come inside the forward 50 to go to the top of the 50-metre arc, which is good to see.
Kenwick to bring the ball from defence. They come to the grandstand side of the ground, looking for Howlett. Oh, Howlett outmarks a Kenwick ruckman there in Kello. Howlett plays on quickly, looks for one at centre half forward. He takes 2 bites but can't control it. Goes back in and tries to shuffle it out, but cannot get it out as he's under pressure from the Kenwick defence there. They come in from everywhere and gang tackle the big little Catalano there, and umpire will come in and bounce his ball right on the 50-metre line. Kenwick at Maddington attacking end. Up goes Kello. This time the ball's won by Want, but coming out is a player there for Kenwick in Prue. He kicks up towards half forward. Hull falls over, but goes back, taps it one hand, picks it up himself, looks for a player in Atkinson. He's getting loose there at half forward. Coming in and he'll get a free kick as he put his body on the line there, and Cook come in and caught him high. So Atkinson gone near the ball 3 times so far and has done very, very well for Kenwick. He's going to kick right on the 50-metre line. He'll take a very, very good kick from there as Woods is not prepared to give a lead. Hull does, but it's ignored by Atkinson. Kicks it long and high. It's going to fall right in the square. Woods pushing and shoving. In fact, he pushed his man out of the way, and that is beautiful body use by the big full forward in Woods, and ball goes straight over the top, straight through for a goal. So excellent start, Chris Maguire by Kenwick.
Yeah, no, great work there by Nick Woods. Unselfish, just really playing a good team game there, and obviously Atkinson's is starting to become a bit of a problem for the Maddington Bulls quite early, and obviously the player that's playing on him needs to really tighten up, because he is a quality player and he does know where the goals are, and they really need to tighten up if they want to stay in this contest.
I just don't know whether playing in front of Woods is the answer. I think you just need to stay behind him, because he's not a wonderful leader, but he just likes to edge you out of the way. As Kello wins a great tucked up straight down to Cook. He fires it out to Sharp. This is beautiful football. Down comes Hull, and that is a precision pass from Les Sharp. Boys, he's back in some form after last week's game, and Hull will shoot on goals from about 45 metres on about a 45-degree angle. So Kenwick are really on fire in the early stages here. Maddington on the back foot. They haven't started well. They come out trying to impose some physicality, and that's put them on the back foot. Says Kenwick are playing football as Hull comes in. Has a shot on goal. So not a bad-looking drop punt. In fact, it's a good-looking drop punt. Umpire says, yes, it is. A beautiful kick from Holly, who kicked 6 goals last year in the previous grand final, so he's have a great memory. And once again, Chris, an excellent get out of the middle by Kello. Two really good ball getters in Cook and Sharp, playing well so far.
Yeah, they're important players, both them players, and they set the tone very, very early, and when they start getting them, players around them do lift, and obviously it's good to see the forwards really demanding the ball, and obviously the midfielders are delivering them, and the forwards are finishing off, so it's good to see, and Maddington do look a bit flat.
Not the start that Trent Harding would have liked for Maddington as the ball goes up in the middle. Player there wins it, puts down to Les Sharp for Kenwick. He kicks out to a leading player in Del Paso, but doesn't quite make it out that far. Cook for Maddington quickly throws it on the boot. Looks like it'll probably go over the boundary line right in front of the Mackenzie Grove Wine sign over in the far end of the ground. And boundary umpire there, and Matt Jarvis will throw the ball in. So Kenwick are dominating the clearances in the middle of the ground. Daniel Atkinson's kicked 2 and Tim Hull's kicked 1. Boundary umpire throws it in. Kello goes up for it and wins the knock down towards Cook, his captain. He falls over, can't pick the ball up. There's plenty of body work over there, and force the ball back over the line. We played just on 7.5 minutes in this Sunday Football League Grand Final, brought to you by Prosser Toyota. Simon Harvey, Ray Witt and Chris Maguire calling all the action this afternoon. The boundary umpire throws it in again. Want versus Kello. Be plenty of contest by those two today. Ball comes down to Cook. He's gang tackled on the ground. No clear possession by anyone, and the umpire decides, no, he's picked out a free kick. We'll go to a Maddington player in Jason Peake, the captain for Maddington, well known to many Sunday Football League followers as a hard in and under player as he kicks towards centre forward. It's all Kenwick. Tony Kellogg, the big ruckman there for Kenwick, and the vice captain takes a strong mark at centre half back. Just waiting on leading options, pretty congested, so he goes out wide, finds his skipper out there in Cook. Good strong mark by Dwayne Cook. Out on the wing, quickly plays on, looking for Hull. Hull bodies up against Mallard. Mallard gets the fist away, goes right over the boundary line in front of the scoreboard, and that scoreboard, brought to us by Carlton United Breweries, shows that Kenwick are 3 goals straight, 18 to Maddington 1 behind. Boundary umpire over there was Matt Jarvis. Throws the ball in beautifully. Going up is Hull there versus Want. So Want doing some heavy work around there. Picked up by Wilkes. He can't get possession. The umpire picked out that he was held without it, so he'll take a free kick. Only going on after the ball as well. And 50-metre penalty the umpire's picked out because of that indiscretion. So Adrian Wilkes is the player with the ball. The umpire will take him right down close to the 50-metre arc. Probably not quite. Well, that's my guess anyway, but the umpire's still going. No, about 5-6 metres out from the 50-metre arc. Wilkes has it for Maddington, going inside 50, probably the second or third time. Quickly kicks to a leading player there in Fitzgerald. In front there was Lindsay Woods, roving the pack, scouting the pack with Maddington. Plenty of players around the ball. Hard to see who's got it. In fact, it's Ewan for Kenwick. Gets a handball way out wide over there to a player there in... I didn't see it. Kicked it down to the wing. Picked up by Nagel. Nagel going inside 50 to Hull. Hull's on his own there. Mallard chasing. Hull picks it up. Handballs to Del Paso. Del Paso kicks. In front was Valenti for Maddington. Woods does some great body work. Gathers the ball. Snaps around his body. That's the first for Nicholas Woods today. It's Kenwick's fourth. On the Carlton United Brewery scoreboard, this is a start that Gavin Earley would have wanted. The X-Factor. 4 goals straight. 24 Kenwick. Maddington have only scored the solitary behind. Chris Maguire. Good skills there by Nicholas Woods.
Good skills by Nicholas Woods and great run from the halfbacks for the Kenwick side. That's what really set up that goal. Just the preparation and the work effort that Kenwick are really prepared to run from behind and give a contest and put numbers to the ball has been really, really good in this start for the game, and obviously Kenwick are right on.
Just problems for Maddington already, Chris. Valenti struggling down there, dropped a virtual sitter there to allow Nick Woods to get that, and Mallard just looking sluggish and slow on Hull. So 2 winners there straight away, and I just think Want may be struggling a little bit in the ruck against Kello. So straight away, Maddington have got problems, and they need to address as up goes the ball. This time Want wins the tap, but it's only as far as Callan Martin. He wants to run with the ball, pulls it around the corner. Kello's run hard away from that ruck contest, leading in the race for the ball, but can't pick it up. Goes back and gets it on his second effort. Oh, he kicks into the man on the mark there in Peak. Coming through is Velicott for Kenwick, but he wobbles the kick to centre-half forward, finds Brett Cook. Brett Cook looks for a switch in play to the dangerous wingman there in Wilkes. Wilkes kicks around the corner. He's under pressure from McPherson. He wobbles it down to half forward and finds Brendan Peak. He tries to handball to himself and go back and get it. He's strongly tackled, put under pressure there by a Kenwick defender. Cliff's under pressure. This is good stuff in its early stages. As Smith kicks it deep inside the 50, but Thomas, he stood tall there and took a chest mark and not chased by Einham. That's not good enough. As Thomas runs away, takes a bounce and kicks to Cook. Boy, is he on fire in this early stage, Dwayne Cook. He's going to lead by example here as he kicks up towards half forward. Nagel all by himself. Too many loose men, Kenwick. Really flat-footed Maddington. It's not good enough. As Nagel kicks towards half forward looking for a player there in Atkinson, but barging his way through. That's better by Big Valenti. Unloads a big bomb which goes off the side of his boot and deep out to the outer wing. Who's there for Kenwick? McPherson. Handballs backwards to Velicott. He shuffles a handball across to the ruckman in Kello. He goes back to Velicott. Going backwards Kenwick, but now they'll go ahead, but only as far as a player there in Wilkes for Maddington. He kicks down, finds Catalano. He's run ahead of the play. Wants to run with the footy and spear a pass in, looking for Big Fitzgerald. Has he got it? Umpire says play on. Boy, that was close. He gets a handball away to Wilkes. He's pushed in the back. Umpire says driving the ball. Well, I thought he might have got shoved in the back, but no. Umpire sent it the other way, and he said, you're too long there, Wilkes, and you were holding the ball.
Play there in Osterberg, great tackle to him by that Kenwick player. Handballs inboard to a teammate, butters up to Kello, gathering it now is Les Sharp. He's ducking and diving, gets a clear kick away and comfortably finds a teammate in Wilkes. Here's a player free up the ground, he spotted him. Lewington just running on the ground, he should take the mark, turns and goes quickly, being hotly pursued there by Hynam, doesn't get to him and dumps him after the kick by Lewington. And the umpire play a free kick down the ground. In fact, that play was Howlett. Undisciplined play there by Maddington. the player in Howlett, giving away a free kick to Lewington, and Peter Del Paso has it right on the 50-metre mark. Kicks towards the top of the square. Woods is lurking. There's plenty of players around. The big bull, Valenti, gets a fist onto it, gathering through, or attempting to soccer it through for Kenwick was Nagel, but he's giving away a free kick to Wilkes. Wilkes quickly gathers, or Cook in fact, kicks out wide, finds a teammate in Fung. Fung has it still inside the defensive 50. Looking inboard, pointing where he'd like to kick the ball on his left boot, kicks long towards the wing. Lewington's there against Catalano. Lewington in front, couldn't take the mark. Two Maddington players collide. Catalano gathers it, handballs over the top there, gets another handball inboard to Brendan Peake. That was from Jason Peake. He kicks to a leading player in Wilkes, gets a bit of a shove and a bump after. Kenwick players fall over. Oosterberg's there. He dives on the ball. Wilkes gathers it. Gang tackled by plenty of players around the ball. I don't think the umpire will call holding the ball on this occasion. In fact, he doesn't. And we'll throw the ball up. We've played about 14 minutes in this first quarter, brought to us by Across the Toyota. Scoreboard reads Kenwick 4 goals straight, 24. Maddington the solitary behind. Kello wins the knock straight down to Harris. Harris gets tackled, picked up there by Cliff, throws it on the left boot. Lindsay Woods is in best position to gather the ball, gets a nice shepherd, trips over. Gathering the ball for Kenwick was Ewan. He gets a handball out, and finally it gets out to Prue. Prue on the right boot, kicks out. It's 2 versus 1. Dwayne Cook's all alone out there for Kenwick. Plenty of players around the ball, but a good result for him as the ball goes over the boundary line, just over in front of the Comment News side of the ground. As we said, Kenwick 4 goals straight, 24. Maddington the solitary behind. Boundary umpire throws it in. Want versus Kello. Kello wins the knock. It goes down to Jason Peake. Gets a nice little handball on the left boot there. Cliff's by himself, but now he's up against Kenwick players as they storm to the contest. Lindsay Woods has it, running down the broadcast wing. Kicks towards the leading player there in Del Paso. He's taken the mark inside the centre square. Kicks with the ball smothered. Great smother by Smith. Smith kicks long to a leading player for Maddington in Hynham. He gets there. Good shepherd off the ball by Wilkes. Hynham kick towards the top of the square. In best position is a Kenwick player in David Harris, who takes a strong mark in the last line of defence. Fortunately, the ball had too much carry there by Hynham. Harris has it now. Plenty of players offering leads for him. Ungainly kicking style has fallen into the arms of Eddie Wilkes, so he'll have a shot from about 50 metres out. Harris did all the hard work there, Chris, took a strong mark and then coughed the ball up. Yeah, most definitely, and obviously Lindsay Woods and Nick Woods was demanding the ball back to be kicked to him, but he's just got to work harder. Quickly plays on in short, and there's Brendan Peake all alone. So bad checking by the Kenwick team there. Dwayne Cook, the skipper, coming off for a rest. He's been on fire in this first quarter. He's replaced by Nathan Trevella, but it'll be Brendan Peake having a shot. Pretty tight angle from out there, about 45 metres out. Can he register Maddington's first goal on the scoreboard? Kicks up, ball goes high. Freddie Miller's in great position, cheering from behind the ground. Just a solid, another behind to Maddington. So, Carlton United Brewery scoreboard, Maddington are 2 behind. And Kenwick are 4 goals straight, 24.
I just sense, Chris, that Maddington are definitely lifting their game. They're getting the ball into the 50, but just not really constructing their work inside 50 well enough at the moment. Yeah,
Kenwick are getting numbers behind the play and obviously running it out, as I said before, so that's obviously a good move by Kenwick.
As Kenwick kicked the ball long and strong, straight up the middle of the ground. Over the top of the pack is found McPherson. He goes to Prue. He kicks up looking for Del Paso, but cutting across in the way there was Henschel, and boy did he cop one. He copped one from Del Paso. It was fair and square, but Henschel just stood his ground. Umpire says, Henschel, come back and take your kick, my boy. No 50 there. It was just a good, solid hip and shoulder there by Del Paso. Players wanting to get involved, but that's okay.
There's no easy free kicks in grand final race, so I think that's pretty fair by what Del Paso did.
Oh, absolutely.
Making sure he earns it.
He was running at full steam, and the man was there, and that's the sort of thing that's got to be done. As Henschel comes out, Banks just come on the ground actually, and he's got a kick straight away. As he's right in front of the commentary box there, Warren Bank, one of the absolute good players of this competition. We'll see how his knee goes in this. He could absolutely lift Maddington as he kicks down towards half forward, but playing well across half back there is Woods. Woods kicks up. Oh, Harris all by himself. He's run out of defence. No one manning up there on that wing as Harris goes in towards centre half forward looking to El Paso. Good pressure there by Smith, but he's grabbed hold of the arm. Advantage could be paid, but no, he's going to be brought back there, and Del Paso kicking just between the centre half forward and the centre of the ground. He's going to go on the right foot as he kicks it long, looking for the full forward in Woods. Valenti and Woods struggle. It goes over the top of the back. This time Brett Cook's there to help up, and here comes Valenti, and he pushes it through, shuffles it through for the minor score. So it's Kenwick, 4 goals, 1, 25, and they lead Maddington 2 straight points. So Kenwick on top so far, but Maddington will be really looking to get a goal here before, well, 1 or 2 goals before quarter time, just to get things back on track as they go short. Find Henschel in the back pocket. He kicks to the outer side of the ground looking for Catalano, but gee, that's made it hard for the little man Catalano. It's McPherson, too tall, and takes an easy mark. Could have been a 50 there. In fact, it is, because he didn't throw the ball back properly, and that's just not good football from a bloke that's played at Waffle football, Chris. You just can't do that. Now, McPherson would have been kicking from outside 50. Not very much chance of kicking a goal. Now he's going to be brought to within 15, and he's probably going to register a score here, Chris.
Yeah, it's a very undisciplined play by Catalano. Then there's just no need for that, and obviously an easy goal to Kenwick. But Kenwick had definitely got a certain play. I think it's get the ball around about 60 metres and kick it long to Woods in the forward 10 metre square, because obviously I think he's got a strength factor over obviously the Maddington player, and obviously Maddington obviously need to get back and help their player out and obviously come over the top.
Yep, fair call there too, Chris, and it is working, because Woods is really using his body well there, and if he can't mark, he brings it to the ground, and the small Kenwick forwards are mopping up any sort of crumbs there. So once again, Kenwick 5-1-31 lead Maddington. This game's getting away a little bit as Callow and Want wins a good ruck tap this time, straight down to Cliff. He kicks it high and long. Reminds me a bit of Kelmscott last week. They've just got to do better going into their forward line as Kenwick defence run it out as they did last week. Kicked long up towards centre half forward. Going back is Mallard. Just eased off the back of Hull there and took a really good mark. Cook goes off the back of him. Kicks out to a vacant space in looking for Howlett. Chased by Woods. Kicks around the corner. Clever kick as he finds Smith all by himself in the middle of the ground. He wants to play on quickly and kicks up towards half forward. Playing from behind his Budaselic, but gets a hands on it. Going back is Prue. Gets around him cleverly. Feeds a handball to Sharp. Good ball handling. The strongly tackled by Jason Peake. They could have been holding the ball. Peake gets gang tackled now. In comes Hewitt and in comes Sharp to wrap up Peake, but that was good play there by Peake on Sharp. No reward there for the Maddington captain. As the crowd gets involved here, right in front of where the grandstand is, as up goes Callow, wins the ruck knock, but it's tapped forward by Maddington players, only as far as Sharp, and he can't control it. Through goes Jason Peake. He's pushed out of the way by Callow. Going back in there is Big Budaselic. Handballs back to Peake once again. He kicks up close to the boundary line, right into that pocket, and coming across him is Fitzgerald there. Hasn't touched the football yet, Fitzgerald, and a very important player there from Maddington. In fact, it may have been over the line and out of bounds on the full. It is, as a Kenwick defender there deep in that back line will take the relieving kick. In fact, it's Ewan for Kenwick there. As Fitzgerald really needs to get hold of some football here and start getting some score on the board. As Kenwick starting to dictate this game as he runs around Fitzgerald. That's too easy. Kicks up towards half of Budaselic in the way there. Not a good option there by Ewan. As Budaselic too big and he's right in the way there. As he pumps the ball back in long. Not an idea, Maddington. They've got to do better than that. They've got to find someone on the lead. As Kenwick just love that sort of football. He kicks looking for Callow. Playing well the ruckman there. As he goes to Trafella. He mishandles the football, but is able to got the time to go back and get it and kicks out towards Nagel. He mishandles. Going back is Wilkes, but he's strongly tackled by Nagel. That's a good second effort. In fact, he kicks back towards the middle and finds Lewington. He was a good player in the prelim final there, Lewington. Pumps long and strong towards half forward. Fung, 2 grabs, but not good enough as Hewitt's grabbed high. And once again, they're going to go inside the 50 and Smith makes contact with Hewitt there. But there's nothing in it, says the umpire. Once again, Kenwick will go inside 50 here and create some more opportunity.
Player there in Hewitt has the ball at the top of the 50-metre arc. There's plenty of players around inside the 50. He's looking up long. Chris Maguire's pointing long. He ends up going short because the player on the lead there is Callow. The big ruckman just ambled down there. Starters, is it Callow? No, it's not. It's Trafella. Ambled down to the top of the square and then gently jogged out, Chris. Is that who you were pointing to?
No, there was a big fat hole here meaning for Nick Woods to obviously let into, but they're just standing back and waiting for the ball to be kicked to them, which obviously is not a good sign, but obviously a good move by Trafella.
Trafella coming in to kick on the left boot. It's off the side of the boot. It's a shocking kick.
And out
of bounds on the full. It was a good lead, good mark, shocking kick. So, Cook will have it. Brett Cook for Maddington. He's about 5 metres from the behind post down there at the Prosser Toyota end of the ground. Of course, Prosser Toyota bringing you all the action today on Heritage FM. We've played just over 23 minutes in this grand final. Cook goes short, looking for a player, and Cliff goes over the top of his head. He didn't judge that well at all, jumped on it, has forced to fist it away, but Kenwick are all around it. There is Woods, he wraps up Cliff in a tackle, and the umpire had no option but to bounce the ball. Shocking kick by Brett Cook, and made it difficult for Cliff. In fact, it wasn't a bad kick, but Cliff made it hard work. Umpire throws the ball in the air. Woods is able to, the ball falls down into the arms of Harris. It's all Maddington. Drops what should have been taken with Shane Smith, but he has it now on his left boot. Thumps the ball out of the goal zone. Looking for a player there in Wilkes. He takes a strong mark. Quickly kicks forward. Has Bank free up at centre half forward. He has a strong mark inside the centre square. Quickly plays on to the leading Fitzgerald. Will it find him? Yes, it does. It's the first mark of the day for Mark Fitzgerald. Of course, the leading goal kicker in the competition this year with 86 goals. Maddington and him are yet to register a goal in this encounter.
They've just proved how easy it is to obviously get a forward structure working. When you move the ball forward and you have an open forward line, it makes it easy for a full forward to lead into. And that was just good ball movement by Maddington, and that's why Fitzgerald has an opportunity to kick on goal.
We'll go to Ray Witt's comments in a minute after Fitzgerald kicks the ball. He moves in now, quite deliberately shot on goal. Freddie Woods hasn't moved. The siren sounded. What's Freddie's decision? Did Maddington get one before the siren? Yes, they did. So on the Carlton United Brewery scoreboard, Maddington registered their first goal. They're 1 goal, 2-8 to Kenwick. 5 goals, 131. It was all Kenwick in that first quarter, brought to you by Prosser Toyota. We'll take a break and come back with a review of the first quarter in the grand final action for 2005 in the Sunday Football League, brought to you by Prosser Toyota. And you are listening to Heritage FM Football.
I can vouch for that, Chris. You guys did run into some very, very good Kenwick sides, and probably far better than this side here, but all with the same trait of never give up and really produce on the day. And a very good comment by you by saying that you just wonder about that learning from last year and whether it really did hurt them. I mean, there's 3 quarters to go and they can turn this around, but they really need to, and they need to address it this quarter if they're going to stay in this contest and really push forward.
And as we said before, right, a team of champions doesn't always be a nice, tight, cohesive unit the way Kenwick are playing at the moment. So it'll be interesting to see what happens this quarter and see if Maddington can get back, but I'm not sure if they can at the moment.
Well, Maddington's coach has requested that they get back to the game plan and they'd show more discipline, and Kenwick, on the other hand, Gavin Hanley has said to his charges they've just shown why they're so good at finals football, and indeed they are, and it says it on the scoreboard. Thanks to Lee Carroll for those comments from the coaches as we tick the clock, getting ready for this second quarter action, brought to us by Carlton United Breweries as the umpire throws the ball in the air. And Ruckman win it. The ball comes down, working out our clock there, but it's quickly butted up. No, it shoots out the back. Flying in there was Wilkes. He gathers it now, finds some open space, but his kick smothered. Running through is Eddie Wilkes, back to Adrian Wilkes, or the other way around, on the left boot, kicking towards Harris for Kenwick. He's in front over there, but chasing him down. Well done by that player in, I think it was Silvestri for Maddington. Quickly out to that opposite wing where Harris throws it on the boots down to the Kenwick half forward line. In best position there for Maddington was Hine, but he couldn't take the mark. Gathers up now was Henschel. Henschel gets a kick away and finds the player in Cliff. Cliff has it just backward of the cricket pitch, goes out wide. Looking for a couple of teammates out there, including Peter Selleck, but he can't gather it. McPherson's there for Kenwick, close to the boundary line. Wilkes, and he goes over the boundary line, right in front of the Kelpscott Junior Football Club sausage sizzle. Willie, I'll let you take over on that note.
Feeling a bit hungry too, Simon. Can you duck over and grab this one?
I can do that for you if you like, eh?
No worries, Chris. We'll miss you though, we'll miss you. As the boundary umpire throws it in, and Kello and Butaselic over the top as Cliff, a decisive tap forward. Clever tap there by Peake. He finds Hynham, spearing pass looking for Fitzgerald, but straight over his head. Out comes Trevor Davis, wants to take Velicott on, and the ball spills free, and away the Kenwick small defenders go through Woods as he gets around Bank, who's probably just a little bit tight on that knee. Kicks into open space, but Howlett all by himself on this wing. Spears a pass up as not a good one, and Bank definitely not moving all that well on that knee as he's struggling to chase there, but does good with the smother as Catalano's met high by Velicott, and they've got out of trouble here, Maddington, but Chris Maguire just not too sure about that knee of Bank.
Skill level of Howlett then was just deplorable. He had time and space.
And he is a good player. He is a skillful player.
He's got great skills.
As Fitzgerald comes on the lead, but Catalano ignores that. Now they haven't got too many second options as Davis floors Velicott, gets hold of the football and has a shot on goal. Now, if that had kicked that, he really could have turned things around there, but he missed to the right side, but he met Velikot strongly. And
that's what they need to do. They need to put physical pressure on and make Kenwick players think what's coming and put them under pressure. They're just not doing that at the moment.
So the Carlton United Breweries scoreboard reads Kenwick 5-1-31, Maddington 1-3-9 as Kenwick defender in Ewan to bring the ball back in. Looking upfield, looking long, and that's the way he goes. He goes to the outer side of the ground, pretty much up the middle. As Peter Selleck almost takes a mark, but drops it. Now coming through his Wilkes, he shuffles it out, looking for the small man in Catalano. But good tackle there by Kenwick. A beautiful tackle by Atkinson as he run Catalano down. Just the pace of Kenwick is a worry, and it was last year. And once again, that pace off the mark in the first 5 metres is really worrying Maddington. As Atkinson to kick the ball out of defence. Goes long to the wing there, pushing and shoving is Callow. Gets Henschel out of the road. Reading it well is Trafella. He goes to Cook. Cook on the right foot, spearing pass in, looking for Hewitt, but it's wide. Coming back is Fun, but he slips over at the vital time. Hewitt goes with a long handball looking for Hull. Oh, he could be caught holding the ball, but no, play on, says the umpires. Mallard's good tackling by both players there as Cook comes back with a handball. He shuffles the handball away to Mallard. Gets it away to Cook again. Goes to the left foot looking for the player there in Wilkes, but he's knocked over. Going back, Pete picks the ball up. Looks for a handball, looking for, oh, gee whiz, some mistakes being made, but it's all caused through pressure as this time Cook kicks back in towards the 50. Out comes Woods, and this time he finds the target. So after a really hectic bit of play there, Woods wants to go short. On a lead is Harris. Ben Harris for Kenwick. I think he'll fancy himself even though the kick's difficult here, but Harris, a big goal kicker for Kenwick, and he'll go back and have a shot on goal here. So once again, Kenwick having a very good start to the quarter.
Ben Harris, that player, it's a pretty sharp angle over there. So he comes in now, looking to extend this lead for Kenwick. Deliberate shot on goal, looks like it's skewed off the side of the boot and may go out of bounds on the full. Yes, that's the signal from the boundary umpire. Boundary umpire there, Richard Heppingstool, calls that one. So a player for Maddington in Henschel will take the free kick. Right next to the behind post, quickly goes short and plays on to Howlett, and he goes a bit further to Cliff. Cliff in front, takes a strong mark in front of Lindsay Woods, who came in late. Good strong mark by Cliff, plenty of open space up ahead. Smothered by Lindsay Woods, and Cliff's under pressure again. Bottles the ball up well, Lindsay Woods, and that's a good result for him. And Gavin Hanley be very happy with that performance by Lindsay Woods, smothering the ball and locking it into his forward 50. Nothing going real well for Maddington at this point in time. This quarter brought to us by Carlton and United Breweries. Kenwick holding a 22-point lead. 5 minutes into this second quarter, boundary umpire throws it in. Hull's there, plenty of players around the ball. Over the top was player there in Cook. Players running around the ball. Wilkes is there. Del Paso's there for Kenwick, firing it out. 2 players converging on it. Wrapped up in the tackle was Atkinson. He butters up on the left boot, goes short, but in cutting across was Jason Peake, the skipper for Maddington. He has it now. Quickly kicks forward, looking for Bank. In front, there's a slight push there by Brendan Peake, and he's run out of bounds. Right in front of the broadcast position here at John Dunn Oval.
And just looks out of sorts there. No timing there. I think obviously the breakers are put him out of sorts a bit, I think.
I don't think he's moving too well.
I don't think he's moving too well on that knee, Chris.
Yeah, he's not moving too well, mate, but this is what they say, bringing in players that are 100% fit just because of names always don't work, and obviously it looks like it's not working at this stage. And Maddington senior players really need to lift. They start to really take control of what's happening. Bruce Selleck, Cliff, both Peake boys, and the Wilkes brothers really need to lift.
Matt Jarvis, the boundary umpire, throwing it in now. Beautiful straight throw in, right in front of us here. Here, Hull uses body work, soccers the ball off the ground, gets it to Lewington. Lewington handballs back through it's David Harris. He gathers it now, swinging around on his right foot, throws it on the boot, finds a teammate there in Trafella. Trafella on his left, quickly plays on, kicks up forward. Player leading out there in front, takes a strong diving mark as Todd Hewitt, inside 50. And he'll have a shot from about 45 metres out. Good work there by Lewington. The little rover gathered and fired a handball straight back to David Harris. Harris throwing it on the boot and finding Todd Hewitt up forward.
Yeah, most definitely. Todd Hewitt led out well then. But question for you, why didn't the Maddington player run back into the hole then? He was a bit scared and looking what's going to hit him from behind. Obviously that's fear factors really hitting the Maddington players.
Another goal there to Hewitt, as we'll go to Ray Witnessek for his comments. Todd Hewitt there kicking inside 50 and registering another. The Carlton United scoreboard, Kenwick are now 6 goals, 137. Maddington 1 goal, 3 and 9. Carlton Draft scoreboard it is, in fact. But Whitty, well done there to Todd Hewitt. It's almost as if he was surprised by that one coming in.
Well, I think they got caught out because the depth of the kick was exceptional, and that's the advantage of kicking the ball long. Coaches always say, kick the ball long, boys. Kick it over the line at centre-half forward. And there's a classic example of what happens when you do, and it opens up the gap behind. Players lead up into that hole and give yourself a chance to kick a goal. So good work by Kenwick there. Bank's been put in the ruck. Beautiful ruck knock by Bank. He taps it down to Brendan Peake, kicks it out, looking for Cliff, but he can't take the mark as he flew high. Coming through is Osterberg, looking for his left, but he's a bit slow there as he's run down by Peake. Going in hard is Budaselic, but he's pulled down to the ground by McPherson. Going through is Thomas. Good, clever handball by him to Cook. Running with the football is Lewington. Clever football there by the young bloke as he kicks up to the half-forward flank looking for Trafella, but he's bundled out of the way by Big Valenti. Going back and getting it is Mallard. He finds Eddie Wilkes, feeds a handball out to the run of Henschel. He comes out to the centre wing and finds Reynolds, who's come on the ground off the interchange bench. Reynolds at between the wing and half back. Kicks up towards the true wing position, looking for Cliff. Up, and he can't hang on as there's a bit of pressure there by Osterberg. Ball spills down to Cook. He feeds a clever kick looking for Woods. He tries to grab the ball before he took the mark and runs straight into Smith. The free kick's picked out there by the umpire, and Kenwick player will take the kick. I couldn't see what happened there, Simon, but looks like Lindsay Woods.
That was Nick Woods just going to push up, and obviously Shane Smith has contacted his brother in High Rain. Obviously just went in and remonstrated.
I thought Nicholas Woods actually pushed Smith into Woods, but the umpire didn't pick that one out.
So Woods will take the kick. The player on the mark's right on the 50, so I'd suggest he's too far out to kick the goal. Players deep in the forward line are not moving. They're going to let Woods pump this ball in long and strong as he goes to the spiral. It's an absolute powder puff as it floats and floats. No one can mark that sort of ball as it goes down to Trevor Davis. He clears and goes wide out to the outer side of the wing into open space and looking for the boundary line, and he is successful there with that kick. So we'll leave a bit of pressure out of the defence there for the Bulls. So it's Kenwick 6-1-37. Maddington 1-3-9 with a lot of work to do here. It's going to be a long, hard crawl back here if Maddington are going to take out this grand final. Kenwick is certainly not going to give in this lead very easily, so it's going to take some real good football by Maddington, and they're not playing that way at the moment. Bank, a clever tap. He's a good ruckman. I've seen him before, ruck beautifully, but it's taken away by McPherson. Spearing pass in and finds Harris, and that's just the difference between the two teams. The way they are entering the 50 is just a chalk and cheese, Chris, as they're kicking the ball low to leading players, and Maddington just cannot get that going.
Just the skill level of Kenwick has just been superior today. The cream always rises to the top, and obviously Maddington are not really showing it at the moment through the way they have through the course of the year, but Kenwick are really lifted. This is why good teams and good sides win premierships, and the way they're playing today, they look like they're going to.
Ben Harris kicking into the man on the mark there. He had a shot from just about the same position as before for the same result. Butters up, Maddington, butter up and grab the ball through Shane Smith, and the umpire's picked out a free kick there. In fact, I think it's out of bounds. Too close to the boundary line, or has he picked out a free kick? Just waiting to see what happens.
It's a throw-in.
Yes, it is a throw-in. Must have been out of bounds over there. Ben Harris kicking into the man on the mark. The umpire sets himself for about 45 metres out from the Kenwick goal. Down the elastoplast end of the ground. Boundary umpire throws it in. Plenty of players around the ball. Mallard's there. Gets a handball out wide to Brendan Peake. Kicks down forward, dropping a chest mark for Maddington there. Then the Kenwick players converge on a Budaselic it was. Kicking inboard to Lewington. Lewington takes a strong mark and will pump this one into 50 again for Kenwick. So the Maddington defenders are all under pressure. Trevor Davis is out there for Maddington, but also there is Callum Martin, who takes a strong mark. Or is it Trafella? Trafella for Kenwick, taking a strong chest mark. Under pressure there from Trevor Davis for Maddington. Right on the 50-metre arc.
Just as you said, Chris, the subtle difference between the basic skill errors, a drop mark by Budaselic, who's a very good player, normally wouldn't drop that, just allowed Kenwick to get hold of the ball.
And it could turn over and be a goal for Kenwick, and this is what cost him on the scoreboard, and really is costing them as a whole club a really good opportunity of winning a premiership, and they've just got to lift and have more respect and pride in their performance and lift as a whole side.
Comments there by Chris Maguire and also Ray Witt here at John Dunn Oval in this grand final. Terrific directional play there by Trafella. Called Hull on the lead. Hull obliged. He's taken a chest mark. He'll have a shot from about 50 metres out. Tim Hull coming in now for Kenwick. Throws the ball on the boot. It's a long kick. He'll have the distance. Freddie Miller just moving to his left and signalling him behind. So only the second one for Kenwick on the Carlton draft scoreboard. There's 6 goals, 2-38 now. Maddington 1 goal, 3-10. Just waiting on Cook to bring the ball in for Maddington. Or is it? No, it's the big fella Valenti. Kenwick setting up the zone. Valenti now kicking, looking for Brendan Peake and finds him. Good strong mark on the 50-metre arc there by Brendan Peake. Looking up forward, plenty of players running for him, including Smith and also Howlett. Howlett has it now, kicks up, in fact it's Henschel, kicking up towards Budaselek, but fisting it over the boundary line from behind. Big strong Kenwick player.
Just the player playing on Budaselek, Chris, we noticed him last week, Prue, did a fantastic job last week on Hughes, and once again, just a hard man to beat in the one-on-one contest.
2 years ago he did a pre-season at Perth, and I just didn't think he liked the commitment, but definitely has the application to play at the next level.
Cook has it now for Kenwick, throws it back to McPherson. He goes on the left and finding a player in Harris towards the middle of the ground, just off the centre square area. David Harris it is. Kicks the ball long towards 50. Hull is lurking, using plenty of body, but coming in front was Brett Cook for Maddington, taking a strong mark in the back half there for the Bulls. They're trailing, of course. Kenwick 6 goals, 2-38. Maddington a 1-3-9 on the Carlton draft scoreboard. Kicks long out towards the wing. Plenty of Kenwick players around the ball. Ball's being fumbled around. Catalano comes through, picks it up, fires a handball out to Wilkes. Eddie Wilkes throws it on the boot, kicks down to a leading player there for Maddington in Hynham, but the ball goes over the boundary line before he can gather it. Just blazing away into the forward zone, Maddington.
Yeah, most definitely. There's just no structure, but the one thing Budaselek does have on Prue is Prue's not the fittest guy. Budaselek just really needs to use this athleticism and his work rate, and as the game slowly gets on, Prue will run out of puff, and that's when Budaselek can really take control.
Budaselek doing the ruck work here against Kello, but a fist over the top by Jason Peake from Maddington falls into the arms of a Kenwick player. Handball's out to Les Sharp. He's wrapped up into the tackle, backing up for Kenwick there and getting the kick out towards Lindsay Woods, but not 10 the umpire's called, well not 15. Quickly over the top, handball over the top, bringing Ewan into the play, or Atkinson it is. He ducks and dives, gets a kick on the ball on the boot and finds Hull. Hull has a player leading up for him, but he kicks a shocker. But coming across courageously was Nicholas Woods out of nowhere, taking a strong mark in front of Shane Smith was Nicholas Woods. What looked like an ordinary kick off the boot by Tim Hull is falling fortuitously into the arms of Nicholas Woods, and he'll have a shot from about 30 metres out on a 45-degree angle.
Just the Maddington defence, just a little bit too sluggish for Kenwick players, Chris. You notice that they haven't got the speed across the ground?
They haven't got the speed, they haven't got the work rate, they haven't got the commitment for the 1% efforts to get behind, to help the players out, to sit in the hole, just simple basic errors that are really costing them as a side, and the scoreboard shows it. And I think the Maddington coach at halftime really needs to look at his players fair and square in the eye and says, do you really want to be here? There's no point being here and doing nothing. Stand up and be counted, because at the moment they're not. And obviously, like last year, Kenwick skill level and their precise goal-scoring efforts are obviously showing on the scoreboard today, which is obviously why they're winning quite convincingly.
If you heard the applause, it's because Nicholas Woods has kicked his second for the day. Umpire throws the ball up in the middle of the ground. Kello versus Bank. Big fist from Davis for Maddington. Unable to gather it was Prue, firing out a handball there for Kenwick by kicking into the arms of Reynolds. He quickly kicks forward where he has a player there in Howlett. He couldn't take the mark. In front was Osterberg, battling for the ball there, and they might see it over the boundary line. In fact, they do.
Free kick, Simon.
Free kick.
Osterberg pushed in the back, right on the boundary line. There's no need for that.
Osterberg has it at the centre, at the half-back line area. On the mark there is Howlett for Maddington. We've gone 16 minutes in this second quarter, kicking up forward, but holding fort there was Reynolds for Maddington, and he takes a mark right on the wing. Quickly plays on, handballs to Peake. Peake's got plenty of players offering up leads, kicks long to a teammate, and taking a strong mark there for Maddington is Hynham. And I venture to say he'll have a shot. No, he doesn't. He quickly plays on because he's got players on offer, including Bank and a player there in Budaselek who takes a mark right in front of goals.
I think I would have preferred Bank having a shot on goal rather than Budaselek. He normally does play down the back at the next level, but has produced a good effort this year at centre-half forward, so it'll be interesting to see how he performs in this kicking for goal, because usually he's not the most reliable.
Well, let's see how he goes. Anthony Budaselek about 30 metres out from goal, right in front. Maddington have only scored 1 goal in this match. We played 17 minutes into the second quarter as Budaselic comes in, looks all right off the boot. It just drifts. Oh no, they're applauding behind the goals. So second goal to Maddington. The Carlton Draft scoreboard. Maddington are 2 goals, 3-15. Kenwick are 7 goals, 2-44. And Ray Witt, well, 1 back.
1 back, Simon, and yes, most certainly they don't want to get any more behind than this because as it is at the moment, it's a long way back, and they're not playing at their best football. Their skill areas is letting them down, and their precision into their forward line. They're working hard for every goal, and Kenwick, your defence is holding up strong. So the next goal would be vital, and it could tell the tale as Kello wins the ruck knock. Cook goes in high, he's caught high. He's just wanting to get his hands on the football, Dwayne Cook, and he's done it. Leading by example, the skipper.
He's just a real hard season Capana. Cook really knows how to find it.
As Cook kicks straight down the middle of the ground, but pushing and shoving there is Valenti. This time gets Woods out of the road. He needs to lift a bit, big Peter Valenti, as he kicks and finds Peake. That's better ball movement as Peake wants to get it on quickly, and does, up towards the half-forward flank, and Howard, goes over his head. He probably misread it there. Going back for his Hynam. He takes it, cops one too, and does it well though, Hynam. Lindsay Woods, clever with his handball, finds Osterberg. He goes short to the left foot, but it's not 15 metres, it's a goal. Bellicott is unloaded there by Peake, and it's the fact is the ball's over the line out of bounds, so Bellicott actually copped one there right on that boundary line, but wore it for the cause as he was standing right in front where the boundary umpire throws this in. Kello and Bank. Kello just pushes it forward, only straight to Jason Peake. He's well tackled by Kello, and the umpire comes in and says, we'll throw it up again, boys. So the Carlton Draft scoreboard, Kenwick 7-2-44, lead Maddington 2-3-15. 18-minute mark of the second quarter is up goes Bank, wins it down to Brendan Peake. He gets it down to Jason Peake. Goes short with a kick that only travels about 15 metres. And Woods for Kenwick just quite content to thump it over the right in front of where the Maddington coach is standing, and he would be fairly concerned about the circumstances at the moment, boys, as in the Kello's Banks pushed out far too easily there by Kello, thrown out by Nagel. Umpire didn't see it as away goes Sharp. He goes straight down the corridor, and out comes Hull, but he can't mark as Smith puts a bit of pressure on there. In fact, it was Harris. Ball spills down towards Brett Cook. He's pushed over, and in fact, it's in the back, says the umpire there. As Cook gets it on quickly, running wide out there on that outer wing is Catalano, but the kick doesn't suit him as cross comes McPherson. Ball spills back to Catalano, gets a handball looking for Wilkes. Wilkes runs onto it and then goes on the left foot and kicks up looking for his brother there and Eddie as it spills just inside the 50 and goes over the line.
Maddington's work rate has lifted over the last 5 minutes, so it's become a bit of a better contest. So maybe the sluggish start, maybe they've really now kicked themselves into gear.
Well, the next goal, if they can get the next goal, they can go in certainly before half-time thinking that, OK, boys, we had a slow start, but we can get back on track. But if Kenwick get the next one, it's going to be a really mountain. As Budaselic wins the ruck knock down towards Wilkes, Kenwick around the contest really applying some strong tackles, but this time Maddington working away through Budaselic. He gets it Catalano, pulls back inside the corridor, but there's no one there. Only the ruckman in Kello for Kenwick. Running off hard is Harris for Kenwick, and that's the way the kick goes. In fact, it's Ewan. He's got plenty of time there as Fitzgerald doesn't chase all that well. He kicks down towards Lindsay Woods, but beating him this time is Reynolds. Takes it back inside 50. Who's there? Big Fitzgerald stands tall this time and takes a mark inside the 50 on a very difficult angle, but it will take a very good kick, but he's the man for the job here. Fitzgerald, the leading goal kicker in the competition, Chris. Do you back him here?
Yeah, you do back him, but what impressed me then about Maddington's ball movement was just the unselfish play by Howard. He just put himself in the right position to shepherd his player, and obviously Fitzgerald was in front and obviously took a good strong mark.
Fitzgerald fires on goal. It's close, but I think he's just missed to the narrow side. In fact, he has. So Maddington doing a little bit of attacking here and just starting to tighten the grip here as they go to 2-4-16, but Kenwick 7-2-44 on the Carlton Draft scoreboard.
Ewan, the player for Kenwick, to bring the ball back into the ground. He's a beautiful long raking left foot kick. Looking for him to do much the same again. I think that's a message from Gavin Hanley. Looks up, coming across to the broadcast side of the ground, thumps it long towards Hull. Budaselic was there, coming through his Mallard for Maddington, gets a handball out to Reynolds. He tries to quickly thump it onto the boot, was unsuccessful. Kenwick just battling the ball forward through Cook. Handballs it off now to a player there in Bellicott. Bellicott over the top to Trafella. Ball doesn't bounce kindly for him. there for Maddington. First is Fung. Fung gets a handball out to Reynolds. Reynolds quickly in the middle of the ground has Trevor Davis and finds him. Davis has plenty of players on offer. Goes towards Bank. Warren Bank, he takes a chest mark just inside the centre square. Quickly turning inboard. Has players free. And the leading player is Fitzgerald for Maddington, and he's taken a strong chest mark about 30 metres out from goal. So good quick ball movement there by Maddington. Created the loose players up the field. And hopefully they'll register their third goal.
Just a run from behind.
That's twice now Banks got the ball in and around the centre, and his ability to kick the ball, he's hit targets, Fitzgerald being both times there. So he really is a key player, Bank.
Mark Fitzgerald now leading goal kicker with 86 goals this season. Deliberate shot on goal is straight through the middle. The goal umpire didn't have to move much. So on the Carlton Draft scoreboard, Maddington are 3 goals, 422. Kenwick are 7 goals, 244, and Mark Fitzgerald registering his second for the day, Chris.
Yeah, obviously, as you said, Ray, just the impact that Warren Bank can have in this game is just so close. He's just such an important player, and they just look like they're really starting to work for each other now and run from behind. And if they can do that and get into players like Brutus and Bank, they definitely can be in this contest. The game's not out of sorts. They've kicked the last couple. If they can get another one before half-time, there's still a chance.
Bank versus Kello. Kello wins it down to Cook. Cook's wrapped up in the tackle by Davis, but it falls into the arms of Martin. He kicks it down towards Hull. Mallard's there and does some great body work. Takes a strong mark in the defensive 50. Goes out wide as the siren sounds to end this second quarter, brought to us by Carlton Draft. On that Carlton Draft scoreboard, Kenwick are 7 goals, 244. Maddington are 3 goals, 422. So they're half the score. Village player Jared Hodge has the ball in the middle of the ground. We're just waiting for players to get settled and the siren to sound in this third quarter. Third quarter brought to us by Cougar Sports. So we thank them for our sponsorship, and of course our game sponsor is Prosser Toyota. A Carlton Draft scoreboard, Kenwick are leading by 22 points. Ray Witt, let's get this second half under action.
Thank you very much, Simon Harvey, as the umpire throws the ball up. Want back in the ruck. He wins the tap, but spills free. Coming through is Martin. He was strongly tackled by Wilkes. Going in hard there is McPherson. Coming through for Maddington, an important player in this second half is Catalano. Feeds the handball back to Cliff. He goes and kicks it high, and it's high as it is long, but reading the ball well that time and using his body well as Hynam. And he probably is one guy in that Maddington forward line that needs to lift up. Big, strong body, and he needs to use it. Hynam, kicking just outside the 50-metre line, will take a very, very good kick as he comes in deliberately. They need to start, and just as we speak,
Favazo's come on.
Change already as Fung comes off and Favazo on. As Hynam kicks long, but it's going to fall short and gets right into that right full forward pocket. Peake goes high and almost takes the mark. That's Brendan Peake. In fact, a free kicks, he's got over the shoulder there of a Kenwick defender at Osterberg. So Osterberg deep in that pocket, defensive pocket for Kenwick. He'll relieve the pressure there. Maddington desperate for an early good start to this third quarter of this 2005 grand final as Osterberg being made to come back over your mark. He kicks out to the defensive side of the ground looking for Thomas. Thomas has been a steady player these last 2 weeks and getting better by the week as he kicks up towards the wing position. Down comes Hull, the centre half forward. He's leading Mallard and Merry Dance as Hull kicks right into the middle of the ground there, but not a good kick this time. Across comes Smith. In fact, it's Henschel. He feeds the long handball looking for Cliff. He kicks down towards half forward looking for Budaselic. Drops the mark he could have taken. Going in strong as Hynam, but Kenwick, 2 defenders there wrapping up Hynam. Looks like Hynam's coming out with a little bit of fire in the belly, and that's good to see. There's the umpire to throw the ball up right on the 50-metre line. As the Carlton United Draft scoreboard reads Kenwick 7-2-44, Maddington 3-4-22. As out to the centre wing looking for Cook. He's met by Cliff. Both players desperate to get their hands on the footy, but Cook very clever with his hands. He goes short to Atkinson. He kicks up towards half forward looking for a player there in Dullymore. He overruns it. Going back in is Favazo. Gets a knockout to Mallard. He ducks and dives. Good swift handball. Good handball to find Smith. He goes by hand to Henschel. Henschel, wobbly old kicker. Poor kick, in fact. He turns the ball over and finds Les Sharp. He goes back by hand to Lindsay Woods. Kicking up towards Hull hell of it. The bounce beats him. Coming through is Nick Woods, imposing his physical strength. Gets the handball back in Hull. He runs inside the 50, kicks on to an open goal square, and Hull does not let the Kenwick boys down. And that's the first blood on the board to the Kenwick side, Chris Maguire.
Yeah, no, just a lack of commitment then by the Maddington player was just not good enough, and as far as I'm concerned, he should be off for that. You just cannot be prepared to do that in a grand final. There's obviously guys in the pine that really want to get on the ground and do a lot more commitment and put 100% effort in. Obviously, that's just not good enough in this day and age in this game, and obviously just a great effort there by Kenwick, obviously too, through Hull. Great scoring shot from 50 metres out.
Yeah, central umpire there, and Jason Tyrrell has the ball in the middle of the ground, throws it up. It'll be Kello versus Want, 50-50 in that one. Cliff throwing his weight around. Kello gets it, handballs it out to his captain there in Cook. Cook over the top looking for McPherson. Good body work there by Wilkes. He has it now. Tackled by McPherson but gets his kick away. He has Want free. Want running onto the ball. Coming across to wrap him up was Velicott. Also there for Kenwick was Osterberg. He handballs over the top towards Kello. Wants there, the two ruckmen go at it, big bang and crash between the bodies. There's no ball, clear possession coming out there, and the umpire will run in and say, give it to me. And we'll have a throw up just in front of the Alan Beattie's Butcher side over there on that far side of the ground. This quarter brought to us by Cougar Sports. Heritage FM 107.3 as the umpire throws it up. Kello wins it, but into the arms of Wilkes. Wilkes throws it on the boot, but only going so far as Prue for Kenwick. He comes out, or sorry, it's Thomas coming out, run one way, then back to the other, looking for Sharp, goes over his head. Also there is Harris, getting the handball out towards Velicott. Velicott on the left boot, looking for Hull. Hull takes a strong mark overhead. It's about 60 metres out, quickly turns inboard. On the lead there is Favazzo in front for Maddington. Coming across in front of him was Atkinson. For Dallimore, Reynolds has it for Maddington to Cliff. Cliff gets it to Valenti. Valenti looked up when he should have looked at the ball. Woods, big front-on attack on him, and Valenti's just fallen over.
No, that's just reckless play by Nicholas Woods. There's no need to
in a bit of trouble,
go and damage anyone like that, especially over the head, especially if he has a wife and kids. Just reckless play.
And probably Valenti contributed to that, Chris, by just not being able to bend down and pick the ball up, and it has Maddington has suffered from this sort of stuff all day, just not crisp with their ball handling.
Mallard has it now, kicking from the centre of the ground up forward, looking for a player in Hynam. Big strong body work there and takes a strong pack mark. It was Hynam, Anthony Hynam has it now. Man on the mark is about 50 metres out, that's Ewan.
Fitzgerald's right beside Hynam. He should be given the hands and give it to a bloke that can kick a lot longer if he's a real team player, because they really do need to lift as a team.
Hynam from 50, or further than 50, I'm not sure. The distance might be beyond him. It has gone that extra distance. The ball's gone off the side of the boot. Coming across in front was McPherson, and then he was impinged upon by Trevor Davis, so he'll take the kick, McPherson. Right in the back pocket, quickly brings it out wide to where he has a teammate in Gary Ewan. He has the ball now, looking up forward. Les Sharp's creating for him. Take an easy, uncontested chest mark. Being pursued by Jason Peake there. Up the field he has Velicott. Velicott's being manned up by Favazzo. He goes in towards the centre of the ground. Hull has to stand and wait, but then judges his leap beautifully. Takes a mark just on the right wing for Kenwick. Kicking in towards the 50. On the lead there is Pugh. He gets bundled out of the way, and a strong chest mark by Cook. In fact, that play was Harris for Kenwick. So Cook has it. Brett Cook for Maddington. Inside his defensive 50 goes to Catalano, but jumping in front was McPherson. Good work there by the young fella. Going one way, then the other. Handballs out wide towards a player there in Martin. He gets the ball back to McPherson. In turn out to the ruckman in Kellor. Then back to Martin. Martin kicks on the boot, but in taking a safe chest mark is Brett Cook for Maddington. On that scoreboard, 8-2 Kenwick 50. Maddington at 3 goals, 4-22. We've played 6 minutes in this third quarter. Brought to us by Cougar Sports.
Chris Maguire, question. Mallard really getting cleaned up by Hull. I just think it's time to swap Gudasetic and Mallard and try and get something going in both positions.
Yep, definitely agree with that. And they just need a lot more run.
Slow for Hull. He's just getting led all up the ground. As Smith comes through, defending well for Maddington, kicking up towards half forward, looking for Hynam, playing from behind, but he gets the punch away. But mopping up is Thomas. He's been very good on the half-back flank today, Teddy Thomas. Wobbly kick down towards the centre of the ground, punched away by Nagel, only as far as the ruckman in Kello. He can't find a player with his handball, but shuffling it forward, looking for Cook there on the outer wing. Mopping it up is Martin. Gets it back to Cook. Goes with a clever little left foot, looking for a player there in Harris, but playing in front is Brett Cook from Maddington. He gets the ball on quickly and finds Peake right in front of the scoreboard, which reads Kenwick 8-2-50, Maddington 3-4-22. Peake goes down to the flank looking for the brother, but he only puts up one hand. Vellicott thumps it forward, going back in for a second. Good second efforts, Vellicott. It gets knocked out of his hands. Players throwing themselves in everywhere there and working hard at the bottom of the pack there is Vellicott as the umpire comes across and says, I'll throw it up. So once again, a good start there by Kenwick. They're harassing and harassing, and that's the way to win a grand final. Nice and tough and hard at the football as the ball's close to the boundary line there and it's forced over once again.
Ray, another question for you. Maybe if you don't put Buddha-Select as half back, maybe put Mellard and Cook and swap those two over, just different matchup, just same position sort of thing?
Well, I looked carefully at the start of the third quarter, Chris, and I didn't see hardly any changes from Maddington. I just don't think you can do that when things are going bad. You've got to be proactive. They've allowed Gavin to dictate the terms all day, and they did it last year.
Yeah, most definitely, and I just feel if Mellard's getting creamed at centre half back, maybe Brett Cook's obviously doing quite well, maybe those two can change, and obviously
Buddha-Select's not playing that well at centre half forward, so put him back.
Buddha-Select's been moved actually into the ruck, and I think the big fella in Banks come on, he's gone to centre half forward.
Okay, as the ball's on the outer side of the ground, Thomas Handball's looking for Vellicott. Oh, he runs straight into Buddha-Select. It's very close to the boundary line. In fact, passage of play across there has been caught on that outer flank there for 2 or 3 minutes as Hewitt and Lewington both prepared to come on here. Looks like Del Paso might have done a hamstring. Maybe his day might be over, but could be happy at the end of it. As big fellow, big ruckman working hard there is Kello. So the player there sockers it out. Sharp does it, shocks it forward. Coming down, whoa, both him and Henschel don't actually go for the footy, but clever play by Atkinson as he ducks, dives, hangs onto the footy. Could be holding the ball, in fact it is. Running away with the footy is Wilkes there. Spears a pass up looking for Hynam. He's had a better start to this third quarter. He's giving them something up there, Hynam. He's a long way out from goals. He's not the most penetrating kick though, and he's just got a kick to stationary contest, which is not good. Kicks it into the pocket, but setting themselves up is Harris, and this is where Kenwick, I've seen them last week, I've seen them again today when there's no movement and the ball's just kicked to stationary contest, they just thrive, and they are doing it once again as Harris takes a very good mark. He kicks to the outer side looking for Cook. Is it just inside the boundary? No, in fact it's not a good kick from Harris, and he's kicked the ball out of bounds on the full.
Maddington player looking to bring the ball back into play. It's Wilkes. He goes inboard and finds Buddha-Select. Ball bounces just before him, so he's forced to put himself under pressure now. Now kicking long in towards 50. No players around the ball except McPherson and Lindsay Woods, but Kenwick rushing through and bustling is Big Fitzgerald. He tackles, he bumps, he pushes. Kenwick players around the ball, including Keller and Harris. And a couple of players competing for him. The umpire says, give it to me. We'll have a bounce about 30 metres out from the Maddington goals. Of course, the scoreboard, Kenwick 8 goals 250, Maddington 3 goals 422. This third quarter brought to us by Cougar Sports as the umpire throws the ball in the air. Kellogg gets a nice ride up, taps it down, plenty of players around it. Maddington player in Wilkes gets it out wide to his brother there, and Eddie on the left boot kicking towards Bank. He bustled out of it. Lindsay Woods is at the back of the pack, gathers it and on the left, kicks out wide to a player there in Callan Martin, but it goes over his head. Now there's a foot race between Wilkes and also Osterberg. Wilkes butters up and lays a tackle there on Martin, and Osterberg gathers the ball and kicks on his right boot up forward to the leading hull. He's got 2 to beat. Mallard and Favazzo chasing him. He puddles the ball and comfortably sees it over the boundary line. Right in front of the Kelpscott Junior Football Club sausage sizzle, so if you're feeling a bit peckish, go over there and grab a snagger. Boundary umpire prepares to throw the ball in. Buddha-Select still in the ruck for Maddington. He'll go against Hull. He's in front, gets the ball down to Catalano. Catalano handballing out looking for Mallard, but competing against him is Cook for Kenwick. He gets the ball back to Atkinson. Atkinson on the right boot looking for a leading player there, using his body. But the umpire, no, he didn't pick out a free kick. It's a foot race now between Valenti and Woods. Woods trying to push and shove, and Valenti's gathered the ball. The big raging bull throws it on his right boot. There's a 2 versus 1 situation. 3 versus 1 as Howlett comes in to assist. Gets a handball to Cliff. Cliff then turn out to Reynolds. Plenty of run by the Maddington defence. He kicks up forward. In front is McPherson. Has his mark spoiled. He's wrapped up in the tackle by Hynam then the ball's fallen out towards Bank. He grabs it now, swings around, handballs inboard to Jason Peake. Peake has a shot but spews the ball off. And the ball goes out of bounds, just bouncing before the line. 3 metres from the behind post at the elastoplast end of the ground. Good running at least from Maddington, Chris.
Good running, but no talk and no communication skills. Just to let Pete know from Bank that when you go to handle off, you've got 5 to settle, don't rush it, just make sure you get a really good score.
Richard Heppenstall, the boundary umpire, throws the ball in. Maddington will want to score from this throw-in. Les Sharp wins the ruck, not Big Fist. Bank dives, paddles it out towards Davis. Davis has a shot on goal, it's coming back. Not back far enough and registers a behind. So, on the Carlton Draft scoreboard, Maddington are 3 goals, 5-23. Kenwick are 8 goals, 2-50.
Pretty much an even contest now since half-time, but Maddington can't allow it to be an even contest. They've just got to slow it up, surely pick the score back, so they really need to lift just that extra 10% just to pick that margin back, pick an extra 2 goals at this quarter and really charge them in the last quarter.
Gary Ewan with that big raking left boot, looking for Hull. He's out towards 50, plenty of players around the ball. Cliff claimed the mark, but the umpire said no. Picking up was Lindsay Woods, handballs inboard to Martin. Martin gets a kick to Kello. Kello in turn, all fired out a hand pass there to a teammate in Prue who took his eyes off it. He has his kick smothered, butters up, gets the handball out to Kello. Running through beautifully was Lindsay Woods. He's had one bounce, he's been pursued by Reynolds. Kicks up board, looking for Woods. He's bundled out of it by Valenti. Attack on the ball now by Dallymore for Kenwick. Also there's Vavasso. He's shepherded out of the way by Woods. Picked up there by Atkinson. Has a shot on goal. Is it a good one? He likes it. Does Freddie Miller like it? There's a bit going on behind play. Waiting on the decision by Freddie. He'll be waiting for the clear from the central umpire who's over at that little tee to take going on in the forward pocket. I'm pretty sure it's a goal.
He's like a statue, Simon. Freddie?
Valenti, someone is out. Absolutely.
I think it is.
Vazo, yes. Didn't see what happened, Chris. I was watching Fred.
Nicholas Woods, I think, had a little bit to do with that.
Fred is still doing his Tin Soldier impersonation, waiting for the ball clear from the umpy.
It's going to say
there's a book.
I think Nick Woods has gone in the book. Yes.
I think Freddie Miller would be quite happy. Maybe he could get a job at the British, the Crown there. It's like a statue. He's been given a red card.
Yes, Woods. That's the end of the day for him. Nicholas Woods, a red card. He's only kicked 2, and that's it.
The stretcher out too. He's absolutely out cold.
Didn't actually see what happened. The all clear has been given. Freddie Woods signals a goal, so Kenwick get a goal out of that encounter, but Maddington wouldn't be happy because they've lost a defender in Tony Favazzo. Kenwick are now 9 goals 2, 56. Maddington are 3 goals 5 at 23.
Obviously, what's transpired then is not nice, but what a great goal by Daniel Atkinson then. Just had enough time and poise to settle, assess what he had to do, and kicked a great goal on the boundary line. But obviously that's the positive, but obviously the downside is hopefully Favazzo will be okay, but obviously it'll be interesting to see now how Maddington restructure their forward line. Robin's really lifting his charges, saying come on.
You would think if there's any time for Maddington to react, Simon, it'd be now, seeing one of their fellow players go down in unsavoury manner. So can Maddington come up with something here? They haven't been able to find the answers all day. They really need to dig deep into the depths of whatever they've got there, because at the moment it's just not good enough.
It was a short day for Tony Vavasso. Unfortunately, he only just come onto the ground, but he appears to be moving okay a little bit on that stretcher, if his family is listening. Umpire has it back in the middle of the ground. Of course, Kenwick scoring a goal on that occasion. The umpire there in Jared Hodge, but it's Kearns for Nicholas Woods. That's the end of the day for him. Umpire throws the ball up. Hull will go into battle now against Butaselic. Butaselic wins it, paddles it out wide to Reynolds. He can't grab the ball, which puts himself under a little bit of pressure. Also there is Mallard from Maddington. He's forcing it out towards the boundary line. Players converge on the ball, and I don't think it's going to come out of there. In fact, I don't think it will. So the central umpire, Jared Hodge, calls for it, and he'll throw the ball up. Just having a look at Tony Vavasso as he comes up.
Very groggy.
A bit groggy.
He's a groggy man.
Umpire throws the ball up. Hull wins it, but he's picked out a free kick. And that'll go to Butaselic. He'll take a free kick right in front of the broadcast box here at John Dunn Oval. 33-point lead to Kenwick on the Carlton Draft scoreboard. This quarter brought to you by Cougar Sports. Butaselic has it. He looks up board. Tensions are starting to get a bit tough and tight and hot here at John Dunn Oval. Kicks long, looking for Hynum. Floating across in front of the pack was Lindsay Woods. He takes a strong mark. So the defence of Kenwick is starting to step up a bit. Quickly plays on now, kicks out wide to Lee Nagel. He has it, kicking up forward. Plenty of players running at it. Over the back of the pack was Cook. Falls in the arms of Smith. Big shepherd by Cliff. Smith has one, or touches the ball on the ground on his left boot, looking up but holding ground down there. Unable to take the mark, so it falls into the hands of Osterberg. Osterberg going out towards McPherson. Coming in and gathering the ball was Wilkes for Maddington. He handballs backwards to Catalano. Catalano, the short kick to Hynum. Hynum doing some great running down there in the forward line. He's taken a chest mark outside 50. Opposed there to Vellicott. Fighting out of his weight division there, Vellicott, but as Hynum has it now, we've seen him have plenty of these opportunities, but as we've said in the past, not a penetrating kick. Kicks up towards the top of the square. Bank goes for it. Plenty of players around the ball. In front was Howlett. His kick smothered. Great defensive work there by Kenwick. And that play there was Ben Harris smothering what could have been a goal for Maddington.
It's just again the way Shane Smith then kicked the ball into the forward line. Obviously the hot spot's about 50 metres out, dead in front. No Maddington players there. No Maddington players were prepared to work to get there.
Boundary umpire throws it up. Paddling it forward was Warren Bank over the top to where Peake is. Peake gets it. He goes backwards to Wilkes. Wilkes kicking towards the top of the square now. Behind is Fitzgerald. Unable to take the chest mark for Kenwick was Prue, and they forced the ball over the boundary line right in the full-back pocket for the Kenwick Royals.
Just when they get it outside 50 there, Chris, they hang on to the ball too long, allowing Kenwick to flood back and get big numbers back there, and it's just not working for them. They need to move it quickly inside there.
They do, and I think they just need to have maybe change of direction and have runners from behind, because it's just too stagnant. They need to change direction, have runners from behind, and then maybe penetrate from 45 that way.
Vellicott wrapping up Trevor Davis there in a big tackle. Quickly plays on towards Sharp. Sharp, the ball bounces off his chest, but he's able to regather and take a mark. Running McPherson for him, and also Woods. Plenty of water boys out there as well. Woods takes the mark. Bit of tough stuff off the ball by Mark Fitzgerald. McPherson comes in to assist, but the umpire regains control. Lindsay Woods has it now. Leading for him, right in front of us here is Dallymore, and he takes a strong mark and pops on the back of the head by Valenti. Oh, there's plenty of pushing and shoving. I reckon this game's going to hot up in a second. Dallymore kicking.
Vavazo just down below there, Simon.
Oh, good to see Vavazo back walking around.
Doggy, but okay.
Henschel has it for Maddington. He kicks out wide looking for his skipper in Peake. Also there is Hynum. He's taken take a free kick about 60 metres out from goal. So Maddington pushing forward. The elastoplast end of the ground. Quickly Hynum goes looking for Bank. Bank used his body. Can't take the one-handed mark. A couple of Kenwick players around the ball. Fisting it forward towards Vellicott, but it goes too far for him. Peake's there. He handballs out wide. Looking for Wilkes, is it? No, it wasn't Wilkes. Down towards Bank. And the ball's fisted over the line. We'll have a throw-in right on the 50-metre arc there.
Just very disciplined stuff down there in that Kenwick defence, Chris. Always punching from behind, always doing the right thing.
Just 1%ers Gavin demands of.
Absolutely. It's game-winning football as the ball spills down towards Cook. He's got time to run it out of the back line and kicks down towards the middle of the ground looking for Trafella. Coming over the top of him is Henschel. But going back and getting the ball is Eddie Wilkes, but he's strongly tackled. Ball spills out towards the wing looking for Lewington. Cook comes across and gives it to Adrian Wilkes. He kicks up inside the 50, looking for someone there, looks like Catalano, but he's out. Hasn't got the height there to win in a one-on-one battle, and it spills over the line. It's about 30 metres out in the right full forward pocket for Maddington. Just doing it tough inside that 50, and they have done all day, Maddington, as the ball gets thrown in. Only it's knocked down towards Vellicott. He relieves the pressure for Kenwick, and Atkinson comes across and sees it over the line and out of bounds. Kenwick 9-2-56, Maddington 3-5-23.
Game timed up, but Maddington just can't get through.
20-minute mark, Chris, of the third quarter, and Maddington only kicked 3 goals, and they are 6 goals behind, so it's a very, very tough contract as the ball gets thrown in again. And Trevor Davis picks it up. He gives it to Buda Selleck, but he's under pressure as he kicks it inside the 50. Working hard as Howlett at ground level, but Kenwick defence has been good here. Bank has a shot around the corner. In fact, it's a minor score there for Warren Bank, and Kenwick moved to 3-6-24, and they trail Kenwick 9-2 on the Carlton Draft scoreboard. So once again, Ewan to bring the ball back in. He's kicked in well all day as he finds a play there, and Hull has found a lot of space in that pocket, 40 metres out. Hull to look upfield. player coming down there in Nagel, but he's pushed out of the way by Mallard, but he can't mark. Gets the handball away, puts it into uncharted grounds as Lewington comes through. Well, good football by the young fellow Lewington. Wins the hard ball. Spears a kick up, looking for Dallymore. He wants to centre the ball, but turns it over only to Brett Cook. He comes running through the middle of the ground. As a real heated exchange right in front of our commentary boxes. Players from both sides get tangled up here. But Velicott moves the ball to the outer side of the ground. But worry about the football, Chris Maguire. You worry about what's going on down there. As Adrian Wilkes does well on his centre wing, but kicks back in, and a player that's been really solid down there is Velicott. He steadies it down and chips it short to Cook. He also chips it short and finds Thomas. And at three-quarter time, the 2:05 grand final, as Kenwick players just run off the bench, and can sense a real feeling of solidarity there, as they look very, very confident in the way they move out to the middle of the ground. And this is a big task for Maddington here, Simon.
So, just before we go to a break, the scoreboard again brought to us by Carlton Draft. It's Kenwick 9 goals, 256 to Maddington 3 goals, 624. We'll come back after this short break and have a chat about all that third quarter action here from John Dunn Oval. You're listening to Heritage FM 107.3, live Sunday Football League action brought to you by Prosser Toyota.
Wants to put himself under pressure, and obviously the pressure he thrives. I mean, he does a good job when it's put at him.
Ray,
it's judging from experience, Chris, it's a lot harder to come from fourth or fifth because you don't get two chances.
No,
so it's
right.
Very hard work down there, I can assure you that.
But Gavin obviously would like to be in that position and see how strong his Kenwick Football Club really is, and the culture and that from where they come from. I think would put them in good stead, because they do thrive on being under pressure, and they love playing in finals footy, and they love playing in the big games.
Ray, it's 5.5 goals. Do you give Maddington any chance in this last quarter?
Oh, gee, they haven't played well all day, Simon. It would be a Herculean effort. They'd have to turn their football around. Kenwick would have to start to struggle, and I can't see it, but for the sake of the contest, it would be great if Kenwick Maddington got a couple of quick goals and made a contest of it. So
Kenwick could kick a few more and win quite comfortably.
Umpire throws it down as the siren goes. Coming through is Atkinson. He gives it away to Cook. Off the side of the boot and wide out to the outer flank there. Leading in the race is Cook there, but he can't beat that ball as it bounces over the line just outside the 50-metre line. So at the start of the last quarter, Carlton Draft scoreboard reads Kenwick 9-2-56, and they lead Maddington 3-6-24. 3 goals in 3 quarters is not the sort of thing that's going to win you a grand final. So boundary umpire throws it in. Hull and Mallard do battle there. Ball gets spilled out. Coming away from that contest is Brendan Peake. He spirals a torpedo punt kick right down towards the half-forward line. Leading in the race is Howlett. He's strongly tackled, but gets it way cleverly there to Adrian Wilkes. A spearing pass to Valenti. Drops a mark, but goes back and gets it the second time. Uses a bit of pace, the big man, as he fires a handball away to Eddie Wilkes. Here's a shot on the left foot. It's a beautiful kick off the left foot, and that's the tonic that Maddington needed. They have made a change, Chris Maguire. They put Valenti in the forward line.
Just about to say, Ray,
a big, powerful man from the back line has come down and created an opportunity.
Yeah, Valenti's gone to full forward, and Fitzgerald's been moved out to centre half forward, obviously, because Brutus Selec's been put into the rack. And what's got mentioned is Banks playing as a half-back wingman, maybe a defensive floating player. So obviously they want to get his experience and drive from behind. Obviously his good foot skills, and pinpoint a few players.
Well, they needed to make some changes because it wasn't working as they were. So it'll be interesting to see now whether they can go on for here. It looks like Cliff in the ruck. That's a very interesting one as Callow wins the ruck knock down towards Catalano. But he's knocked off the ball by Lindsay Woods. But coming through is Brendan Peake. Another spiral. He loves those kicks, but it's not fall short this time, and it's cut off by Osterberg. His kick's smothered. But Catalano gets his hands on it. Gets a good handball away to Wilkes. He kicks inside the 50. Down there's Hynam. He falls over the ball time. Leading the way is Valenti. Can he pick it up? He does! And he puts it through. So the big man from the full back line, who was really struggling down there, Chris, has come up and he's engineered 2 goals.
Yes, so a bit too late as far as I'm concerned. Obviously they've kicked the last 2 goals, and obviously a great move by the Maddington coach, but you need these moves made early in the piece. Sometimes you can't be stagnant, but
no, it's not too late, Chris. 20 points
it's 20 points, but mate, grand finals day. Kenwick are the masters, and they know how to shut the game down, and they'll still be confident. They won't lose sight of the big picture, and obviously Maddington now obviously got their tails up. They just really need to work hard and see how they go the next 20 minutes.
Well, they've been winning the ball out of the middle here, Maddington. That's what the game's all about. As Cliff goes up, only as far as Martin this time, but working really hard is Maddington in the centre square. But McPherson feeds it away to Cook. He gets a handball, but it's not good. It finds Kello. He gets a kick inside with a left foot, looking for a player there in Hewitt, but strong mark by Brett Cook. And actually Mallard at centre half back. So just sense that Maddington have stepped up a little bit in their endeavours, which is what they need to do. As he chips short and finds Fung, that player not Nagel, they're not chasing and manning up. Fung goes on the left foot. He finds a player there, and Wilkes said they're getting free. They're starting to get free. Banks is free as he runs ahead of the play. Kick follow, does well Banks as he gets around player there in Sharp quite easily. Kicks it long and strong. We're looking for the big man in Hynham down there. Can he mark it? I think he has! He's used his body beautifully there. Got Thomas out of the road, and he's hung on to one only some 20 metres out deep in the pocket. So this is an exciting start here by Maddington. They've come out all guns blazing, and he plays on quickly and finds Fitzgerald. I don't know whether the umpire has set the mark. So Hynham on a very, very difficult angle, quite a difficult angle, Chris, but he is on his right kicking foot.
Most definitely, but what great play by Warren Bank, just playing as a floating half-back, loose man in defence, and obviously he has such a good skill level and just hits his opponents when needs to, but good possession play by Maddington. Obviously Fitzgerald will have a good shot at goal, and you'd obviously back him being the leading forward.
Well, deja vu there. Hynham waited for the mark to be set, and then he proceeded to do the same thing again. So loose checking by Kenwick. Mark Fitzgerald now. He's kicked 2 today, going for his third, and this is an important kick by Mark Fitzgerald. Freddie Miller just moving to his right, and I think his register are behind. So on the Carlton Draft scoreboard, Maddington 5 goals, 7-37. They trail Kenwick by 19 points. 9 goals, 2-56, and this last quarter brought to us by Sherrin. Sherrin are the suppliers of football to the Sunday Football League. You're listening to Heritage FM 107.3. Ray Witt, Chris Maguire and Simon Harvey bringing this action in the Sunday Football League Grand Final for 2005. Gary Ewan has it, kicks to himself, plays on, then sinks the boot into a long raking left foot looking for Hull. Maddington players converge on it. 3 versus 3 here. Lindsay Woods is there. He can't gather it, and the ball stumbles over the boundary line just prior to Shane Mallard picking it up, so the boundary umpire will throw it in. It's Matt Jarvis, young Matty Jarvis, about to throw the ball in. Plenty of players around the ball. Peter Selleck coming across. Warren Bank marshalling the troops just on the wing, close to this throw-in. 19 points the difference. We played 5 minutes in this last quarter. Thank you to Sharon for sponsoring the quarter. Peak over the top, thumps it, but it falls in the hands of Lindsay Woods. He throws it on the left boot. Under it is Mallard. Also there for Kenwick is Nagel. And over the back is Hull. He paddles it a bit further down. The ball goes over the line right at the interchange area here at John Dunn Oval. Gavin Hanley's out of his seat. He's trying to marshal his troops, as is Trent Harding for Maddington. They set up their zone now. Henschel, the player for Maddington, just moving off the pack. Got a couple of players free, Maddington, as Kenwick do in their defence. Matty Jarvis throws the ball in. Again, he's had to do some hard work today. Cliff thumps the ball forward to Catalano. Paddling it forward was Peak. Catalano has it. He's pursued by Nagel. Gets the kick up forward. Osterberg gets a hand in there. He's tackled by Howlett, but Osterberg sees the ball over the boundary line. Crowd calling for deliberate. The umpire there won't have a bar of that. And Matty Jarvis again is in the picture. He'll get to throw the ball in once more.
You know all the umpires, Simon.
Oh, I got to look after the umpires, mate. Without them, we wouldn't have a game of footy.
Maddington are finishing for a run.
Kenwick pulling up cramping, yes. Perhaps Kenwick are feeling the pinch a bit. This beautiful throw in. Over the top was Buta Selleck. Into the path of Brendan Peake. On his left boot. Coming out is Hynham. Oh! Left hand mark. Oh no, the umpire says play on. Handball back to Hynham. And he's to push in the back. Or too high. It doesn't matter. Free kick there to Anthony Hynham. And he'll have a shot from right in front. Nagel coming off for Kenwick. He's cramping up severely. Couple of players ready to come on, including Ben Harris, but Carl Hynham has it. This will bring the game back to a 13-point margin if he can register a major. Anthony Hynham for Maddington puts the kick away.
Game on.
Couple of players clapping at Freddie Miller. Statue. Oh, great work of Freddie Miller. Anthony Hynham registers his first one. Maddington on the Carlton Draft scoreboard, 6 goals, 7. To Kenwick, 9 goals, 2.
we have a game on that looks like the T-word in team has lifted Maddington, and obviously they're now starting to play as a really good team, and obviously 3 early goals in this quarter has obviously really timed up this contest, and there's worrying sides from Kenwick. They don't have as much run as they did in the first 3 quarters, and Maddington are finishing for a run. They haven't done much all day, so they should.
2 minutes a long time in football, only 2 minutes to go. Chris Maguire is calling it all Kenwick, but anyway, they thump the ball forward, goes down to Atkinson, he gets it to Lewington, Lewington goes backwards to Woods, looks upfield, has a couple of players leading, but Lewington runs on, creating space for him, takes a comfortable mark on half forward, chips up ahead towards Sharp. Sharp gathers it. Kevin Hanley will want his players to register a goal to stop this flow by Maddington. Kicks towards Hull. Hull uses his body against Mallard and takes a nice overhead mark right in front of goals at the elastoplast into the ground. He'll have a shot from about 40 metres. Good steadying play there by the Kenwick players.
Yeah, most definitely. It's obviously good work by Tim Hull. He's a big man and obviously a big presence, and he demanded the ball then, and obviously a great lead at a full forward and took a good strong mark, which hopefully should settle down Kenwick's performance from now.
Important shot at goal for Hull. I think he skewed it off side of the boot, and he has indeed. He's registered it behind. It's on the Carlton Draft scoreboard, 9 goals, 357. Bit of wavering there in the Kenwick, amongst the Kenwick players. They're starting to get the jitters, perhaps. Over to you, Ray.
Certainly, Simon. Maddington really throwing down the gauntlet here. It's Henschel kick in. Maddington players calling it long, straight down the middle. Ball punched away, reading it well. He's unloaded. He's unloaded by Lewington, coming in and clipping him under the ear there as Wilkes. But Brad Reynolds, pretty tough character, gets the free kick, goes on with it quickly. Oh, 2 Maddington players spoil each other there. Picking the ball up is Harris. He kicks back to his brother in Ben Harris. There's a 2-on-1 situation here. Woods gets the crumbs. Woods on goal. And I think he might have kicked it. The unkickable goal there from deep in the pocket he has.
And that was on his opposite side too, right?
Say to that, Chris Maguire.
That is just pure class. Lindsay Wood, next Perth player, did a pre-season about 4 years ago at Richmond, and obviously didn't succeed, and he's come back to grassroots footy just because he obviously had enough of all the politics and stuff in football, and he now looks like he's enjoying his footy, and he's had a very, very good game, but just shows how what of a class of a player he is, and finished off with a great goal.
Costly mistake here on the half-forward line there. Maddington, Ray, see Shane Smith come off the ground now.
Well, there's no talk.
2 Maddington players, Cliff and Smith, just cannoned into each other, caused a spillage, and that contributed to a goal there. As Cliff does the ruck work, he's beaten by Kello. Out of the middle goes Cook. Beautiful pass up looking for Harris, but behind him is Hewitt. He gets a handball away to Hull. He's all by himself. He has a shot on goals, and I think he's put it through. So that's 2 goals in the space of 30 seconds, and that could be one of the first nails in the coffin as Kenwick answer the challenge there from Maddington, Chris Maguire.
Yeah, just good ball movement then by Kenwick. Obviously, they really are responding to the challenge that Maddington has put down to them, and obviously just a lack of communicational skills there by both Maddington players has been costly, and obviously it's given Lindsay Woods a very freakish goal, which has really lifted his side, and obviously just the work rate of Tim Hull from centre forward through to full forward has obviously lifted his side, and just finished off with a nice easy goal.
You have been critical of Tim Hull. I think he's answered those.
He scored 3 goals. He scored 3 goals today, but for a bloke that's 6'4", he should be doing a lot more work, I feel.
No, I think he's played well. I think he's been up in the top echelon today, Hull. As the bounce down takes place, coming through is Lewington. Really impressed with his work over the last 2 weeks as he strongly tackled by Catalano, was pushed in the back. In fact, umpire says it the other way and holding the ball as Catalano's driven into the ground and Lewington's slow to get up. Catalano feeds it backwards to Budaselic. Long and high into the forward line. Someone needs to take a mark there from Maddington. Punched away by Prue, the ever reliable. Coming to the ground there with this player at Osterberg, but players come in from everywhere there, and the ball will be thrown up there about 30 metres directly in front of the Maddington goal.
Maddington are just really finding it hard to score goals with Kenwick putting numbers behind the ball too.
Plenty of blue jumpers around this. Ball's out, the umpire throws it up. Davis bashing through the pack, can't get a clear possession. Trying to thump the ball clear was Harris for Kenwick. Handball out wide to... couldn't take a mark right on the goal line. The kick was coming in and he couldn't
let it go.
Could have been a goal. Nonetheless, Kenwick have it now, and they'll be kicking the ball back in. It'll be Gary Ewan kick the ball back in for Kenwick on that Carlton Draft scoreboard. Kenwick 11-3-69, Maddington 6-8-44. Ewan looks up. There's plenty of players down in this defensive 50 for Maddington. 3 or 4 Kenwick players run towards this side of the ground. Sitting underneath it was Harris. Couldn't take the mark. Cliff's there for Maddington. Also Mallard. Cliff gets the ball. Handballs it to Peake. Peake goes towards Howlett. Howlett gets pushed over. Coming through there is Butaselic. Butaselic has it outside 50. Takes on the tackler. And the umpire's picked out a free kick. But there's a kick on goal by Butaselic.
Should play advantage.
Should play advantage.
About course they do advantage. No, he hasn't. He's calling them back.
That is a very poor decision.
Well, that doesn't please the Maddington faithful one bit. The umpire there has
play the advantage, and if it doesn't come off, you pull it back. But
Ryan
Howlett, the umpires do like to take control, and obviously this time they took control of the wrong position, I feel.
Ryan Howlett has it now. He'll have a shot from 50. Goes out wide. Brings Wilkes into the game, and he's taken a mark inside 50. That'll be Adrian Wilkes, the man there, and have a shot from about 40 metres out. Pretty good user of the ball. I expect him to kick this one to bridge that gap a little bit closer and make it 19 points. We played 13 minutes in this last quarter, brought to us by Sharon. It's a Sharon that Wilkes is about to kick, has a shot on goal. They're clapping behind. It is a goal. It's a major. So Eddie Wilkes kicks his first. In fact, it was Adrian Wilkes kicks his first for today. So on that Carlton Draft scoreboard, Maddington 7 goals 8, 50. To Kenwick 11 goals 3, 69. A valuable goal there for Maddington, Ray, and they'll need to get a couple more in quick succession.
Oh, they're playing well enough. I think that goal from Lindsay Woods, Chris McGuire, was a real backbreaker there. That's very, very difficult to kick, but he was able to conjure that up, and it should just make the difference at the end of the day.
Yeah, most definitely. And then they allowed the big fella and Hull to score another one. So 2 goals in succession really does hurt the Maddington side.
Kello versus the unlikely ruckman in Cliff, and Kello wins it. Plenty of players around the ball, but Cliff gets it back. He throws it on the boot. He had Bank free. Bank jumps for it, but couldn't take the mark. Osterberg was there, as Callan Martin. Callan Martin comes out towards the commentary box. He has Lindsay Woods running towards the ball. He gathers it now in pursuit by Reynolds. Gets a handball to Lewington. He can't take the mark. Peake goes the man instead of the ball. It's picked up there by Atkinson. Goes back towards Woods. Woods kicks to Lewington. And some great running there by the young man. Here's a couple of players free ahead of him, and he goes short looking for Hull. And Hull takes a chest mark inside 50.
This is the sort of thing I'm talking about, Ray. This guy really does need to demand the ball and present really hard, and he's just really now, I feel, starting to show his worth in today's game.
Warren Bank coming off the ground, being replaced by Nathan White as Tim Hull will have a shot on goal from outside 50. Michael Lewington's done some great work for Kenwick. He'll come off as well and be replaced by Trefella. Tim Hull, we're just about right behind this one. Runs in deliberately, will kick from about 50 metres. Shot on goal looks pretty good from here. Has it got the carry? If it's got the carry, it's a goal. Very important goal to Kenwick. Could be another nail. That's 12 goals 3 now. 75 to Maddington, 7 goals 8, 50. A 25-point lead on the Carlton Draft scoreboard. This quarter brought to us by Sharon, the suppliers of football to the Sunday Football League. You're listening to the live Sunday Football League action on Heritage FM 107.3.
Great work there by Tim Hull. Obviously, Lewington set it up by obviously a great mark, but what great evasive skills and poise Lindsay Woods had. He's been very, very good today, the ex-Perth player, and obviously Tim Hull is really now starting to show his worth to the Kenwick side.
As he bounded, the umpire throws it up. Kello's rucked really well today, wins another ruck knock, but working overtime in there is Cliff. He's given it everything, Cliff. Umpire to throw the ball back up again, so Kenwick just seemed to have the answers. Maddington playing a lot better, but Kenwick's lifted their rating once again and doing it well as Harris wins the ruck knock. Lindsay Woods taps it forward, but it's only as far as Atkinson. Clever by Atkinson as he gets it away to Trefella. He kicks up into a dangerous area looking for Hull. Ball spills over the back. Fun leads in the race for the ball. Gets a soccer on it. McPherson does well close to the boundary line to seize it over. Foot race there by him and Fun. So Kenwick all the answers. Another magnificent coaching performance by Mr. G. Hanley once again. He's got all the answers in the Sunday League at the moment. The other team is just chasing their tail as the ball gets thrown in. Mallard wins it down. Looking for Brendan Peake. Players jump in from everywhere. Kenwick will be happy with that because they're defending a very handy lead. The umpire picks it up. Picks up a free kick. Goes to Peake. They jumped into his back. Goes wide and long looking for Butaselic, but the kick's not good. And made it very difficult for Butaselic. In fact, it's gone over the line. So 25 points in arrears, Maddington. They've been trailing all day. They just look up at the scoreboard and there's a that gap there all the time, which is very, very hard work to comprehend. As Want playing from the back, gets it down towards Catalano, goes duck left on duck and right, but beautiful play by Cook as he dispossesses Catalano. He's able to get a handball away looking for McPherson. He gets it back to Cook. He goes to McPherson. Good play by Kenwick as they just shuffle the ball forward. Coming through Sharp. Wants his left foot. He'll go back onto his right foot. Gets on, steadies down, kicks on goal, but just falls. Did not have the carry there, Leslie Sharp, and just put it on the goal line. It was forced through for the minor score. So they move to 12-4-76. Maddington 7-8-50. Extend that lead by the minor scores. Cook's been a handy defender, one of their better defenders. Goes unattended there is Eddie Wilkes across the half back line. That was an easy get out as he kicks it down towards the centre wing, looking for Trevor Davis. He flies high but pulls McPherson out of the way. Balances the umpire. They feed it back to the ruckman in Callow. He kicks up towards half forward looking for Cook. Stands his ground, but coming across the face there is Wilkes. He gets it away, gets it back. Kicks with the left foot up towards the wing, close to the boundary line. In fact, it's over the line and out of bounds. So they just can't do things right, and they haven't done all day, Maddington. Just hasn't turned out the way they wanted it to. And it's 2 years in a row now. They're going to go away very disappointed with a very good football side on the park, but just not being able to get the job done on the day. As the kick goes up towards the half-forward line, Cook, who's been an absolute champion today for the Kenwick cause, he's underdone, and he's just carrying an arm, obviously, but he's just given his all for the side and had a real good game as well. So down the umpire to throw it in, deep on that outer side. Up it goes. Cliff comes across the top. McPherson trying to get it away. The players getting very tired now. The game's slowed down quite a lot, Chris Maguire. And Kenwick will be very content with its 26-point lead. Yeah, most definitely. Maddington just haven't learnt from last year's obviously mistakes. So obviously it's going to hurt them again this year, but they're going to have to back it up next year and see what they learn from that point in time.
Jason Peake, the skipper for Maddington, coming off the ground. I reckon we've got about 5 minutes left in this last quarter. Brought to us by Sharon, the suppliers of good footies to the Sunday Football League. Kenwick by 24 points. The ball's gone out of bounds right in front of the Kelpscott Junior Football Club sausage sizzle. I reckon you've got a few left over there, so feeling a bit peckish. Run over and grab one.
Chris will be keen for after the game, I'd imagine.
After the game, they'll knock one there by Want. Falls into the arms of Trefella for Maddington, but now it's in the hands of Cliff for Maddington. He kicks forward, looking for Valenti. He's holding his ground, bustling, nearly took the mark back. The umpires played a free kick, and the raging bull, Peter Valenti, will have a shot on goal from about 40 metres out. So the backman turned forward today, and he sparked something very special early in this quarter.
Well, he used to be a full forward, Simon.
Many years ago? Back in your day?
No, I'm not that far back, but I did coach against him. He played for Willetton and then went to Maddington. So
shot on goal. Hines there, and he takes a strong mark. So getting a bit back now, the Maddington boys. Hynum hopefully will register this major. He's kicked one today, Anthony Hynum.
Hynum has been a very solid contributor without getting a lot of goals. Taken a lot of marks.
Can he bring the score back to a 20-point margin? Goes the banana kick. Looks pretty good from here. Freddie Miller likes it. So on the Carlton Draft scoreboard, Maddington edge closer. They're 8 goals, 856. Kenwick at 12 goals, 476. So a 20-point margin here at John Dunn Oval in Kelpscott. We've got about 4 minutes to play. 3 or 4 minutes left in this grand final, brought to you by Prosser Toyota. Boundary umpires do a great job in bringing the ball back to the middle of the ground. Kenwick crowd are starting to get excited on the other side of the ground out there.
Just Chris Maguire, this newfound intensity that Maddington have found in the last quarter, they needed to do that early on in the game.
They need to do it from the first bounce, and sometimes when your back's against the wall, it's very, very hard, and then the pressure comes off, and all of a sudden it happens, and sometimes you just can't switch on like a tap. It has to be from the go.
Atkinson having a shot from goal just outside 50, has a player free in Cook, but he's unable to take the mark, and the ball just off outside that goal zone, registering a behind. So Kenwick go ahead, 12-5-77. Quickly played on Maddington player, but didn't wait for the umpire to finish waving the flags.
And also, probably the intensity has been allowed by Kenwick taking the foot off the middle too. Obviously, they were very, very good early on.
But they definitely do appear to at least be interested in their desire levels have lifted Maddington, but you can't give away a 6-goal start.
No, that's right.
Reynolds has it inside the defensive 50 for Maddington. Tim Hull's gone into the ruck for Kenwick. Ball's out with Wilkes now. Eddie Wilkes has it, kicking up right in front of the commentary box. Lindsay Woods is there and takes a strong one-handed mark.
You have to think he can push them down today, Ray.
Pretty good.
Very close.
Plays on.
Between him and Cook and Hull.
Has a teammate free there in Hewitt.
Todd
Hewitt has it. Just stalling the play now. Couldn't be too long left in this encounter. Kenwick are going to get back to back. Kicks up forward and finds another teammate there, and Harris, who's just moved on to the ground. Ben Harris, still outside the forward 50. Kenwick club are starting to enjoy this grand final. Harris goes towards the top of the 50-metre arc. He has the ruckman there in Kello, and he takes a strong mark. Everything's going right for Kenwick. We played 22 and a half minutes in the last quarter, brought to us by Sharon Footballs.
He's tried his heart out all day, Tony Kello.
Sunday Football League, yes, the big or the not so big ruckman does a great job. Kenwick 12-5-77 to Maddington 8-8-56 on the Carlton Draft scoreboard. Heritage FM bringing you this live action in the grand final for 2005. He quickly plays on, looking for his skipper in Cook. He takes a well-juggled mark, and he'll have a shot on goals. Celebrations all round for Kenwick.
He done a bit of a hamstring last Wednesday night at training. That's why he didn't play last week. But obviously, pulled one out of the hat. Joanne Cook, and obviously had a great game, and obviously just resting in a forward pocket now, and obviously wants to be on the ground when the final siren goes, and obviously wants to celebrate with his team and take another one home.
Well, he ran third in the bout in the medal and picked up the boundary umpire award this year's Footballer of the Year. He will have a premiership medallion now. Shot on goal. Will he register a goal next to his name? No, he won't. Behind. So that scoreboard brought to us by Carlton Draft reads 12 goals 6-78 to Kenwick, and Maddington are 8-8-56.
As the ball to be brought back in, just looking down in the Kenwick coaching box, the hugs and celebrations just starting to commence as it's a wonderful part of winning a grand final, being able to, very lucky to be able to. As the ball gets kicked down towards the full forward line, and Brett Cook, who's been probably one of their few winners down there in defence today. Cook, he's been very solid. As he chips short to the back pocket and finds Brendan Peake. Peake kicks out towards the half-back line and finds Henschel. He wants to run with the football. Kicks up towards the wing position looking for Want. He leads in the race for the ball, but across comes Harris. Falls over at the vital time, allows Want to get up and pick up the ball, then kick it long and strong towards centre-half forward. This is where they've fallen down. Fitzgerald's there. Oh, he paid the mark. He didn't hold on to it long, but held on to it long enough, says the umpire. Hits it on quick and a low spearing pass looking for playing Silvestri. He's only just come onto the ground. First run for the day, I think, boys. There's clever play there by Woods. So I think he's firming now to certainly be my best on ground, Lindsay Woods, Chris. I know you probably agree there is Prue defending it cross half-back, kicks it short to Hull. He may be on the ball now or dropping back into defence. Kicks out towards the wing position with McPherson. He's been lively. They've had a bundle of contributors, Kenwick, and that's what wins your grand finals. Not enough contributors as the siren goes. And once again, Kenwick are able to live a dream come true and win another grand final, boys. And it's just becoming repetitious now as the preparations and celebrations commence for Kenwick, as the final score on the 2005 grand final reads Kenwick 12-6-78, and they've defeated Maddington for the second year in a row, 8-8-56.
Well, that is the score. Kenwick are victors again, and Gavin Hanley's done it again with his mob, and they've run away with this Sunday Football League Grand Final for 2005. We're going to take a break, come back with a review of today's game, and also the presentations and the Best On Ground Player Award. You're listening to Heritage FM's live Sunday Football League broadcast, brought to you by Prosser Toyota.
Sunday Football League, proud sponsors of 107.3 Heritage FM, bring you Match of the Week, thanks to their sponsors, Prosser Toyota, Elastoplast, Sherrin and United Paper. For further inquiries about the Sunday Football League and teams, please call 63802973. That's 63802973. Or via the internet at www.sfl.net.au. That's www.sfl.net.au. The Sunday Football League and Heritage FM, getting you closer to the footy action.
Honey, I don't want to cook dinner tonight. Let's get takeaway.
What a great idea. I really feel like a big cheesy pizza.
Or maybe a kebab. Where shall we go?
Let's go to Kenwick Dialer Pizza. They've been sponsors of the Kenwick Football Club for years.
And they sponsor Heritage FM.
Yep, let's phone ahead on 9459 6033.
They're on the corner of Albany Highway and Royal Street, Kenwick, aren't they?
Kenwick Dollar Pizza 9459 6033. In Wattle Grove, Westfield and Wollongong. This is the voice of your community. 107.3. 107.3 Heritage FM.
Welcome back to the live Sunday League broadcast from John Dunn over in Kelmscott as the celebrations begin. Temper's getting a little bit frayed in there as well. It's Kenwick 12 goals 678 to Maddington 8 goals 856 in what has been a pretty good game of footy. Disappointing for Maddington, but those Kenwick boys will be very happy with their performance today. Final thoughts on the game, Ray Witt? How'd you see it? I know we've spoken about it all day, but your final thoughts nonetheless.
Just got to be hats off to Kenwick, the way they prepared for the game, and everything they've done is leading towards this last day, and it must be a very proud man in Gavin Hanley, the way that they've come out and they've set the tempo up at the start of the game, started off and got in front. Maddington very flat-footed and not really switched on to playing grand final type football, chasing the tail all day long, which is very hard yakka against a well-coached team. Quite a little bit slow to make enough moves to try and rectify things. They let things go, which is not good coaching. Certainly in the last game of the year, you've got to throw it around and really try to make things happen. And that didn't happen. And whether it would have happened even if they had of, who knows. But once again, Maddington players just looking very, very disappointed because I just wonder whether it's not a fact that they have a hell of a lot of easy games throughout the year, and they don't get challenged. Very, very rarely do they get challenged. In fact, the last two times they've played Kenwick, they've won by massive amounts, and probably led to a false sense of security, thinking that it was going to be relatively easy, which it wasn't. And you sometimes wonder whether it wasn't a plan, because you couldn't imagine that Kenwick side, Chris, being flogged to the extent they were in both those games. Now, either it's the biggest con since Robert Redford's The Sting, or Gavin Hanley's a genius. Now, which one is it?
Well, I think Gavin Hanley is just a very, very good coach. Maybe the times that Maddington have played Kenwick, Gavin's been through a really heavy training regime and just flattening his players off. And Gavin just obviously, and both Mick as well, they both obviously know how to get the best out of their players, and they just demand it and they really respond. And I just feel that Kenwick from the first bounce today were very proactive, and Maddington were very reactive. And when you're reacting to what Maddington does, it's very, very hard to come back from. And I just think from the word go, Kenwick have obviously got to the finals. Finals is a new season, and they've obviously just really responded to what Gavin's words were, and obviously taken everything he said. And he's just done another great job with his side. Obviously not the most skillful side, but just the side that wanted it the most, and that's all they've really done.
Well, in the two games they got badly beaten. Their ball use, and that was atrocious. Now, that's just from an impartial observer, you just wonder how that can switch on and switch off, because that's what really cost them in those games. And today there was way better ball use and the slick use of their handballs and their skills picked up, and so it's quite we'll actually ask Gavin Hanley when he does come up here questions like that and just see what he does say to questions like that. But just on Maddington boys, where do you think it's not a lack of talent? Is it the wrong type of players?
It's a culture.
You think it's a culture?
I think it's a culture in the Maddington Football Club. They just don't understand how to win big games. They just don't know how to put themselves under pressure themselves. The player group is so gifted, they just think it's going to happen. And unfortunately, it's just not going to happen. On Grand Finals Day, anything can happen. And results previous don't mean a thing. And Kenwick have proved it year in, year out for the previous 10 years. They've won 6 out of 10. So that's 7 out of 11 years, Ray, they've won premierships. Now, if that doesn't tell you something for the culture of the Kenwick Football Club compared to the Maddington Football Club, well, obviously I know nothing about football.
I think it's compared to all the other football clubs, Chris, because it's not only throwing Maddington into that, you throw Thornley into that basket.
Most definitely, even Armidale for 4 years. But they just had a really good side.
Definitely, of course, we'll be talking a little bit more about Kenwick, but you feel for some of those Maddington players who have that winning culture and have that gut desire to win games of footy, particularly grand finals. The likes of Jason Peake, Brendan Peake, Valenti, we've spoken about Big Peter Valenti, and Tony Vavaso's been there for donkey's years, and these types of players would be really hurting after a second consecutive loss to Kenwick.
Well, especially going as favourites 2 years in a row, and having a seemingly psychological advantage by winning easily, and everything looked on track, but it just was almost like a dream that went bad.
You can't pick out individuals in a team game, and at the end of the day, the team, Kenwick Football Club, just wanted it more than Maddington. And
they're masters, Chris. They're masters at playing for each other and being right on the day, and it's a credit to the way they go about things, and it's going to be up to the rest of the clubs to try and to change their own mentality and the way they go about it. Otherwise, Kenwick are just going to win, keep on winning.
Most definitely. But question for you, Ray. Do you think it's time for Gavin Howley to put his hand up and maybe go to the next level?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Do you think the Perth Football Club should be looking at him?
Yes, I do.
Well, I agree with you. I really hope they do. They can't always...
But Perth have been floundering in the seconds for years. Someone like that needs to be given an opportunity.
Ladies and gentlemen,
because the guys
a great game of football today to culminate the 2005 season for the Sunday Football League.
And on behalf of everybody involved, I'd like to thank the Maddington Football Club. They've had a marvellous year. To have 3 teams in the grand final is a wonderful performance. On behalf of everybody involved, bad luck, fellas. You can only do what you do on the day, so congratulations to the Maddington Football Club. Of course, there can only be one winner, and today, as in 2004, the winner was the Kenwick Football Club. To start the proceedings, I'd like to ask Mr. Lou Samet, dealer principal of the Prosser Toyota in Gosnells, to present the medal to the best player on the ground as adjudicated by the umpires, and that was Lindsay Woods of Kenwick. Congratulations, Lindsay, on a wonderful game. And of course, without umpires you can't have a game, so I'd ask the umpires to come forward and accept their medals. And umpires just collecting their awards, and I don't think the Maddington people, whilst they're going off of the umpire now, can't be too disappointed with their performance, really. There was nothing untoward in that, and I thought it was a pretty all-round, pretty good performance by the umpires. Good to see Freddie Miller out there. Now I'd like to ask the coach of the Kenwick Football Club, Gavin Hanley, to come forward and present the medals. To present the medals is Mr. Paul Andrews, member for Southern River. Congratulations, Gavin. But marvellous performance.
But firstly, I'd like to thank the Sunday Football League for a great day. Obviously, I'd like to thank Maddington Football Club, all 3 grades in the grand final. It's where you guys are at, and it's a great effort. I can't help but imagine how you guys feel. But I'm sure that tough things will turn around, and we'll be on the other end of one eventually. So the Kenwick Football Club, I said you guys at half-time that if I said that this year's had its ups and downs, it would be the biggest understatement of my life. But I just want to thank everyone that's rallied around, and the guys that jumped up like Razor and coached for the 6 weeks. Thanks, Rays. And just to our magnificent football club, on our banner it said, "We are a family," and that's what we are. Keep going, guys. He wanted to keep it quiet today because of the kind of guy he is, but first guy I'm going to call up played his 150th game for us today, Ginger Hewitt. Great stuff, mate.
Proud as that.
Cheers, buddy. Second guy, he missed out, but he's been playing some great football with us, that big Westie. Both my skippers up, TK and Cookie. Hey boy, join me, boy. Both my Vice Captains, Holly and Bella. Hey, hey, boys. Alright, this guy's going to be a pain in the arse over the next 4 days, so I'll get rid of him early, Osty. Yes, Josh, I said you played well. Dirty Harry! Dirty Harry! Good stuff, Harry. Good boy, mate. Champion, mate. Go you! Well done, matey boy. Good stuff, yeah. You! The old Warhorse pads. Great stuff, mate. Beautiful, mate. Buoyant! Benny Harris. And I'm BH. Good boy, Mike. Good boy. Nathan Trafala. That's so far. Hello, matey boy. Good stuff, mate. Great stuff. Love it. Nice! Great stuff, mate. Boy, mate. I love you too, mate. Louis! Hello, Louis. Good boy, mate. Good boy, champ. Yeah. Banger! Go, Banger! Good boy, mate. Champion, brother. Good stuff, mate. Good proud of you. Sharpie! Fucking hell, dude. Thanks, mate. Love you, brother. Nicky Woods! Go, Nicky! Oh, bit of wood! Teddy! Great stuff, mate. Champion, brother. Hey? Champion, mate. Lindsay didn't recognise you without the ball. Lindsay Woods! Lindsay! You're a champion, brother. Great stuff, mate, eh? Nicky Woods! Go, Nicky! Mate, you're a champion, brother. Great stuff, mate. Minnie Mo!
Two more, plus your own.
Okay. Who else? Who else? Who else? Gallimore! Is that everyone? Or what? Lovely. Is that everyone? Johnny South! Come on, Johnny! Yeah, he goes right to the back because he loves the attention. Great stuff, Johnny! Cheers, mate. Great stuff, buddy. And me, I'm getting all on one.
And now, of course, one for the coach, Gavin. Well done, mate. Premiers 2005, Kenwick Football Club. The flag and the cup, I'd like to ask Gavin and the captain, sorry. No. Premiers 2005, Kenwick Football Club. Congratulations to Kenwick, congratulations to Maddington, congratulations to Armidale, the three premiers on the day, the Sunday Football League. Thanks everybody involved for season 2005 and hope to see everybody back again for 2006. Thank you very much for your participation today, and to Heritage FM for calling the game. It's been a wonderful year.